please welcome my guest for this evening, SoyMilk. Oh, wait. Oh, no, hold on. I messed up. I done messed up. Why? We have the video. Why is the audio not there? It should be there. Give me a sec. This is what I get. Like I said, I'm a little bit frazzled today, and I saw the video working, and this has happened before, and I don't know why. Because the video is still working, because I used this source in the last show. But for some reason, the audio doesn't come in. So I just need to make a new one, and it's like, why? Why am I having to do this? So give me just a second, folks. Well, you can't... She just said that she's going to entertain, but she can't because you can't be heard. So let's get rid of that. This is episode 124 of Vtuber Talk, and let this be a lesson to everyone that stuff never ends. No matter how many times you've done something, there will sometimes be something that goes wrong, something that you overlook. I usually have the full routine of, okay, make sure to do the video test, the sound test. I did the video test and the sound test. Just, we were talking, I saw my levels. I thought I saw hers, but apparently not. So, here we go again. Oh, no, wait, I realized what the issue was, because it wasn't even... I am silly. Because I realized it wasn't the video thing. I am even sillier than I thought. I forgot the audio source is separate from the video source because I'm currently using Video Ninja, and I was like, wait, the video one worked. Why didn't the audio one? Because I didn't set the audio one. Hi, Soy, how are you doing?
Hi! So one of my chatters said the SoyMilk curse is real. It is absolutely real. That is a part of my lore because I'm an evil yokai that curses people. So technically, I'm kind of doing my job, right?
Voluptuous is saying that Soy is like double me. Is that double? Is in, that her audio is coming through twice, or that her voice is twice as loud as mine. I want to make sure that we're getting all this right. Just really loud? Oh, that's... Okay, that's odd. The levels I'm seeing on my end say she's about the same as mine. I'm bringing her down a bit. Try again now. Versus me. This is me. Testing 1, 2. Live sound checks. Yay!
Yee-hee! Is it all good now?
How is that now?
Try screaming the mad side. Nah!
Oh yeah, this is gonna be great for the VOD. Everyone's gonna be like, oh, why am I, like, just click right off that video on YouTube. They're just screaming, they don't know what they're doing, and now they're just making loud noises. Everyone's peeking everywhere, and just, hi YouTube, if you're watching, like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz.
Hi YouTube! YouTube, you guys are cool, just so you know that.
Yeah, how are we sounding, chat? Are we better now? Are we more level? If you need me to bring things down, I will. Cool. Sounds like we're good now. Yay!
Yay! Nice. All right, we'll pretend none of this happened, so I can. None
of this happened. None of this happened. One sec. Bring it back. We don't need the intro again live, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. Please welcome my guest for this evening, SoyMilk.
Hello. It's so good to see you. Hi.
There we go. Awesome. That was a wonderful transition, a wonderful intro. Totally did it first take. Nobody worry about it.
Absolutely.
We are good here. We are professionals. We have no stuff whatsoever. Nope. Nothing went wrong.
No.
We're all good.
Absolutely.
Well, welcome on in, Soy. Sometimes I have to figure out, all right, what's going to be the introduction for everything? How's the conversation going to go? And, well, we just fell into all that. And obviously, most folks here are already familiar with you. But for anyone who might not be, if you could introduce yourself now that you can be heard.
Yay! Hi, I'm SoyMilk. I'm a shape-shifting deer yokai, and I can shapeshift into many deer things. I can make my hair big, my neck long, and sometimes it could be bald. But other than that, I'm a variety streamer on Twitch.tv. I like to stream a bunch of things, and I'm first and foremost an artist, so I like to implement my art in a lot of my streams. So it's just really cool, and it's very nice to meet everybody. Yay!
Yay! You have that polished intro down. The whole thing with making the head wide, neck long, that you can tell when someone's really got it down in practice. And not, you don't need to have that, but when you do, it always, you can tell, and it's good. And yours you have down, so that's very, very nice.
That's all improvised, minus like the thing where I make my head big, because that's something I always say to introduce myself in streams.
It's a good toggle.
Yeah.
It's one that most people have. It's not like it's some crazy rare toggle, but it's just, it's perhaps underused, I suppose.
Yeah. That's really nice. It's kind of really nice that you said that, because like that's kind of the thing that I started with streaming. I was like, oh, you know what? I want to do something no one has done at my time, which was like I want to make my model go crazy and stuff. So I did that, and then it just stuck as my intro for the longest time. I've been just introducing myself as a variety streamer, but a lot of people go like, hey, we know a lot of variety streamers, but when I bust out the shape-shifting style, they go like, whoa, I like where I'm seeing. Yeah.
Now, when I announced you as a guest, I got a warning from a past guest of mine, that being Ren. Ren was episode 100. We went for a good 7 hours and 25 minutes if memory serves. It was at that point in time the longest episode of Vtuber Talk. It is still the second longest episode I've ever had. And she gave me this dire warning. She said, she is going to steal all your sauces. I have to believe there's a story behind this, or at least some inside joke.
Actually, this is the first time I've heard Ren say that. But I just went with it. I was like, I just want to know.
The first rule of comedy, yes and.
Exactly. I'm just a little goober goblin. I like to do a lot of things, just a little mischievous act, like, throwing toilet paper at somebody's house or yeah, what's it called? I almost said slashing tires. Now that's not mischievous. That's just a hate crime. I promise I won't slash anyone's tires as long as you're nice to me, okay? If you're nice to me, I won't have to do that. But just a little, mischievous things. I will just do some with sauce and stuff. But yeah, no, nothing to go like too far with. So unless it's Mugen, me and him have beef.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mugen Fushigi, that little scumbag, that little.
right there in chat. Just oh man, drama.
Pointing at him. I'm pointing at him. I'm bringing my big old finger. Wait, hold on. I need, well, not the middle finger, but just a point. I don't know. I'm bringing my pen pointing. You, my guy. I'm pointing at you. You see my. Stop
Mugen
stealing
Fushigi.
my. Moogie and I are like literally best buds. We're like, butter and what goes well with butter?
Toast.
Bread.
Bread, yeah.
Bread and butter. Yeah, pretty much. Wherever I'm around, Moogie's kind of around, so it's really kind of fun. But he's just like my buddy in crime almost. Yeah.
Everyone's happy.
He's
gotta
like
have a good partner in crime. Yeah.
Like, you gotta have somebody that you always rely on, we're kind of like, we've gone through so much actually, so that's how you know it's a great friendship, because like you start noticing things and then you talk about it and you establish communication and all that sort of stuff. Like, I never have that with anyone else, so he's someone I deeply trust with a lot of things, and it's really nice to have just somebody you co-work with as a VTuber. It's kind of hard for me to reach out and tell people, hey, how about we work together and do fun stuff together, because there's like this really gray area in VTubing where if you want to talk about the stuff you're working on, it's only like crazy people that say it, honestly. But like, they're thinking like, oh, you're self-promoting and all this stuff. So I just want to avoid all of that sort of stuff. Thankfully, all the people that I've met are very kind so far. you know. But my brain just automatically goes to the worst possible scenario, and it saved me a bunch of times. But you know,
it can be a very good self-defense mechanism.
Yeah, but I am the type of like, I do things accidentally that would put me in a lot of trouble. Like certain tabs are open that reveal certain things, and I go like, oh. yeah. So I tend to put myself in trouble, but that's okay, you know. Yeah. It's kind of like my Gap Moe if you think about it. Like, she's a...
There you go. It's
she's
part
the
of
type of person. She's the type of person who seems like she has like her head on her shoulders, but nope, she does not. One of my friends told me today, like, they were like, "Oh, I was showing my other friend pictures of my you guys, and his first impression was I seem like the mom type. I am not the mom type. I'm more like the little sister angsty type." So it's really interesting.
That is always fun of just, what people think at a glance or what people expect versus what they see. And that, you are many things, Soy, and I say this with the utmost respect, you are not the mom type.
Yes, thank you. I feel like saying that I'm a mom type is a huge insult because, like, I do not portray anything in resemblance to a mom type. Like, even if someone was like, hey, you look like you could be mommy, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm your mom. Where's my chancla? I'm ready. I'm ready to fucking parent. Yeah.
But so we have here on the screen actually the tweet from Ren and you and me saying you just want to hold him for a while. So I do now have to ask.
I just want to hold.
Do you have any favorite sauces though?
Sauce. Honey mustard.
You are able to steal and hold on to any sauce that you want.
Yes, honey mustard is my favorite sauce. I used to be a big fan of ketchup. Like, I would be like, everything goes in ketchup. Even I would do something blasphemous as putting ketchup in pizza. You know, something apparently not people do a lot.
But the thing is, pizza already sort of has it because it has tomato sauce on it. It already has.
It's not the same.
But all
it doesn't
all the ketchup
have
is just sweet tomato sauce, like overly sweet tomato sauce. So,
I am a sweet tooth.
Now, so is this replacing the normal tomato sauce with ketchup, or is this putting additional ketchup while you still have the normal pizza tomato sauce?
Yeah, it's basically I'll just have that. But my favorite pizza actually does not have tomato sauce on it. So, because I feel like tomato sauce overdoes it on just like a regular pepperoni. But I like my Alfredo white pizza. It just has Alfredo sauce instead.
Okay,
mushrooms.
So if we're replacing one tomato-based sauce with another, that is not quite as heretical as doubling up on it. That if it was, all right, we already have tomato sauce here as per usual, and then it's the cheese, and then it's an additional layer of ketchup on top, that's a little bit weird. But if it's white pizza and then you're adding in tomato when there isn't any, okay, well, if you're dipping, because that's akin to marinara at that point. And marinara is definitely different from both ketchup and normal pizza sauce. So I can at least understand the concept at play.
You seem to know a lot about pizza. It's only recently that pizza became like my favorite guilty food. I try not to eat too much because, like, but it's like you can't stay away from a good old pizza, you know what I mean? It's like, it's such a comfort food. It's like everybody's food, like they eat it like late at night. There's nothing open but like fucking Domino's or Papa John's and whatever. I mean, don't get Papa John's. That's the worst type of pizza you can get, even if it's like really late and it's only open. Nah. Papa John's is the Denny's of breakfast. That's just
the Denny's of pizza, you mean?
Oh yeah, that's right. The Denny's of pizza.
I was like, Denny's of breakfast, but Denny's does breakfast and Papa John's does.
Thank you. I've recently like learned something about me is that I feel like I'm hitting a dementia period. I'm starting to miss like say things wrong. Like I would refer to like blue as yellow, or I would like replace words when I meant the other.
It happens,
I don't know
especially
what's
when
happening
you're
in my
streaming and you're
brain,
just
but
busy and your mind's going a million miles an hour.
yeah.
Also, now to introduce our sponsor for this evening, Papa John's. It's like,
Well, we're not sponsored by Papa John's. Papa John's, listen. I did any defamation.
Dollars. It's all over.
No.
We're soy over. It's soy over.
It's soy over. That's the new meme that we made because we gotta cope with the new ISP issues that popped up. That's one of the things that I love about my community is like we're strong, man. Nothing phases us, even if there's internet stuff bothering us. We're just gonna do something about it. Gotta make it fun. That's actually my motto. It's like even if stuff is scuffing, I like to make it fun. I like to make it entertaining. It's just something gone wrong. Oh, that's a perfect opportunity to turn it into something cool. Yeah. My motto in streaming is scuff is content. I will turn whatever scuff into content.
I had a big speech during one of my very first shows, and it was embrace the scuff, love the scuff. That scuff is going to happen. It does not matter how much planning you put in. Something somewhere inevitably is going to go wrong, and that's not a pessimist mindset of, oh, everything's going to be terrible and there's no point in trying. No, that is a practical mindset of someone who has done live events and shows for a while, that there's just so many things that go into a production that, statistically speaking, somewhere, something along the line will go wrong. And that's okay. The difference is, can you roll with it or are you going to let it get to you? Because it's a bad mindset to say, oh, something's going to go wrong and it's going to ruin everything and that it's always going to be bad. No, that's saying something will always go wrong, but we're going to deal with it. That's the healthy mindset of just saying, okay, something somewhere is going to go wrong. When it pops up, that we'll just deal with it. I don't know what's going to go wrong. I didn't know that the intro today that I'd forgotten to set the audio source correctly, but we deal with it and we just keep going. You push through it. And one of the other things I say is, if the audience doesn't know something went wrong, nothing went wrong. But if the audience has to know something went wrong, play it off anyway.
Exactly. I want more people to like understand that sentiment. Even like I feel like even when you like freak out, like, oh no, something's going wrong, I don't know how to fix this, and then I start crying and stuff, it also puts the audience at like, this is kind of awkward, I don't feel like I really enjoy watching this, because I was a viewer for one of my friend's collabs. It was his first ever collab, and I was so excited. I was like, yeah, finally, you get it, you're getting your very first VTuber collab, it's gonna be amazing. So I start to pep him up, and he gets really shy and stuff. He goes like, I don't know this person very well, and I was like, just be yourself, give it your all and stuff. And then like 45 minutes they were still trying to set up the stream, and they were talking and asking each other how to fix it, and it was just really awkward. And the person who was hosting the collab had like anger issues. They were like screaming, like, why is this happening? Disc slam. As a viewer, I was like, this is not funny. This is not entertaining.
No, there's ways to be funny. Like, you and I, when we had our little audio issue earlier, that we were, quote unquote, freaking out. But it was a fun freak out. It was like, oh no, it's all gone wrong. What are we going to do? And that you were typing in chat and I was just, rambling, talking, making sure we weren't having dead air since there wasn't audio coming from your end. But all the while, I'm just fixing it. It was like, oh, here we go, and then boom. And that you can always feel the difference of when there's actually bad vibes happening from audio or just technical stuff versus when you are playing it up and acting freaked out or like acting super flustered, but that it's for the bit, it's for fun.
Everything's for the bit. That should be the mindset if you're going, if you're going to be a streamer. Yeah. You're putting a show after all. Unless you don't really care about that sort of stuff and you're just like having a chill vibe, and yeah, that works too. But I feel like I'm an entertainer, so I have to do my best. Yeah.
And I always find myself sort of in the middle. That one thing I've said many times is my top priority is the guest, always. That chat, I love you. And thank you for being here for any amount of time. Like, if you were here for a minute, the whole stream, if you get rated in and happen to stick around, I am so happy that anyone would spend any amount of time, because time is the most precious resource that we have, and I thank you for being here. But chat is not my top priority. The guest is. And that's just a thing of me being a host, but also me taking the base assumption that if the guest is having a good time, chat's going to have a good time too, 99 times out of 100. Whereas if chat's having a good time, it's more possible for chat to have a good time when the guest isn't having a good time, if that makes sense. So, just, as a host, I always try and put my guest first and foremost. But I still love you, chat, so thank you for being here.
Love you, chat! Thank you! Also, don't worry, you're my priority. I'm a streamer. I'm kidding, I'm joking.
Also, a couple follows came in, so I do want to thank folks. Bob234555, Nameless Face, The G-Man 5918, Dawnstorm129, Life Wolf. Thank you all for the follows. Also, this one other, I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation here. I'm so sorry. SoyMilk. SoyMilk. Yes, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much.
Hey! It's pronounced SoyMilk. I can't believe how dare you butcher my name like that. I'm gonna write you a tweet longer.
It's Soyver. It's all Soyver.
It's Soyver.
Also, AG3000, thank you for the follow.
Me. It's pronounced stinker.
Ah, yes, thank you so much for the correction, Life Wolf. Really appreciate that.
Whatchamacallit? But yeah, I like being referred to many names. It could be Stinker, it could be Soy, it could be sometimes Milk. Some people even refer to me as my character's name, like Shikatsuki. I tried going with Shikatsuki, but for some reason it didn't go very well. I asked chat, I was like, call me Shika, and they're like, yeah, okay, Shika, and I was like, that doesn't feel right. It doesn't flow as well as Soy. I don't know.
And also
I just stuck with it.
And new folks who stumble upon your channel or your social accounts are going to usually just default to what they see in the username and the link, and that they see Soy there, and it's like, okay, so that's probably the name.
Yeah, I had a moment to think. I was like, should I change it when it turned to a VTuber? And then I thought about it for a while, and I was like, nah. The chat tried to say my name, my character's name. It didn't feel like me. It felt like I was playing someone else. And at the time, I was trying to play someone else. Like, my character, she looks like the way she is because when I first made her, I was like, oh, she's gonna be the sweet little character who is very nice and kind. Fast forward 2.5 years, and now I'm just I'm just throwing insults at everybody at any time I can see. It's completely different. It's really hard to play a character. Props to anybody who goes through putting on a different personality. But for me, I broke after 2 weeks. I can't. But yeah, shout out to people who can do it.
Yeah, as someone who is not a VTuber and has not actually attempted to be a VTuber, I have a lot of respect and understanding for people who do fully commit to the bit of the character, but also understand why my guess is probably only a quarter, if not less than that, really do that nowadays. I think it was a lot more common in the earlier days for people to really go full in character, but I feel like more often than not now that most VTubers are just themselves, that perhaps an enhanced or exaggerated version of themselves, and that they might play up some of the parts of their character, but that by and large, they allow their own personality to become the character's personality.
Yeah, for me, I was this quiet girl who didn't really talk much because a lot of my friends were pretty much they would just throw in bits and do jokes, and I was like, should I really try? I don't know if I can. And then I picked up VTubing, and I remember one of my friends, he was like, Soy, when did you become funny? And I was like, excuse you? I was always like that, but I've always kept it to myself. How dare you? But yeah, I'm just very happy, It's kind of like a glow up almost, because whenever I watch my old content, because I always review my content, I want to make sure if anything that I'm doing is improving it all the time. But I watched all my old stuff and I was like, damn, if only I said this or if only I did that, you know, it would have been a lot better at least, you know, but,
Well, that's
you
just
know,
learning
noticing
from
the
experience.
mistakes and...
That
Yeah!
goodness knows I'm a better host now than I was 123 episodes ago, no question. And I wish I was able to watch my own content, that I can't stand the sound of my own voice. That's not to say I don't like my own voice. Like, I think I have a fine voice. I don't think there's anything wrong with my voice. But it's always just weird hearing my voice. And I feel like most people have that, and that most people are able to get over it. It's something that I will listen to my shows a bit from time to time to just make sure, all right, nothing's gone totally wrong. But most of the time I do introspection, that I try and think, okay, show just ended, what went well, what didn't go well, how can I improve, is there anything I want to tweak a little bit, and that I just sort of go over memories a bit more consciously as opposed to actively bringing up the VODs, and that's how I work around it.
Yeah, it's always pretty good. Like, sometimes you see some certain things that you do and you wonder, I wonder what went wrong, like how can I fix it? Like, one of the things I had to self-introspect is, why do I always fall asleep in my BRB time? Every single time I go to my BRB screen, I go to pee, you know? I gotta relieve myself, but it's just, my toilet is so comfy. It's so comfy that one of my community members, Lamp, made this amazing little thing. Oh, I don't have a version of it alone, but there's one where my friend is on top of it sitting. But this is the soilet. and it's just a cemented thing now. Like every time I go into a BRB screen, my chat goes like, oh shit, she's gonna fall asleep. So for now, I looked at that. I was like, no, okay, we gotta put a stop to it. We gotta put something. We gotta put a clue, you know. So how about we make a punishment, quote unquote, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I take longer than 10 minutes of a break, I will be forced to watch an ordinary sausage video. And if you know what ordinary sausage is, it's a guy that makes. It's I don't know how to explain it. There's like two sides. There's people that enjoy it because of how ridiculous it is, but for a person like me who sees food as food, you see, some people say it's art.
Oh wait,
I
is
say
this the
it's
guy
disgusting.
that always makes like different types of crazy sausages?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
It's sausage time.
Yeah, it's sausage time. So
it
like
gets
every
3
time.
Mark Ruffalo's out of 5.
Yes, it's
Bop,
that
bop,
guy.
bop,
Yeah.
Bop,
Bop. But every
I didn't
time.
know that was the name of the channel.
Yeah, that's him. Mark Ruffalo. He did a pencil sharpener one where it just made me almost gag, and I was like, no, I deserve it. I took so long on the toilet. I shouldn't have.
I actually do enjoy those videos, and I think it's fun and interesting to see the different things that he's able to actually come up with, and just, I think he has a fun voice and approach to it, but I will admit that there are a couple of his videos that are particularly cursed.
Oh, my chat, specifically my mod Lamp, he sends those specifically to me, and he goes like, hey, what do you want to pick? Want a birthday cake, or do you want...
Yeah, I'm figuring it's the cursed ones. It's not just
it's always cursed.
Because there's some that are at least interesting that you look at and say, oh, I'm very curious. This could actually just be good. That he usually will get his hands on some exotic type of meat, or just the concept of, okay, what could be ground down and put in a bun? And there's plenty of things that can do that and that actually do work. And then I know he made a water sausage at some point.
I have not seen that one yet. Maybe we should put that one up.
It ends exactly the way you would expect.
No! He said the venison sausage was pretty good. No, we do not speak of venison. You shall not slaughter my family members. Even if I'm a dead yokai who's died 4,000 years ago, you shan't eat, deer. You actually have to get a special talisman from the, Japanese priests to be allowed to eat like deer meat because they actually find it like a not an active sin, but like, yo, no, you shouldn't eat it because they're divine creatures. So like, if you want to eat one, you gotta get special permission. Yeah. Don't say it tastes good, no. I'm being cut up alive here.
I'm looking through some of his more recent videos because it's been a while since I saw someone either reacting to him or just... I don't look to his channel normally myself. It's just I see people having it on and reacting to it. And yeah, there's a couple things like hamburger pie, spam surprise, swordfish sausage. That could be interesting. There could be something there. What is it? Artificial crab sausage. Sure. That's, bacon-wrapped bacon sausage. Sounds like it could be viable. Deep-fried steak bowl sausage. Sure. But then you have things like Skittle steak. And deep-fried corn. Orange juice spaghetti.
No.
Helium sausage.
Helium! Okay, that I
Pencil
gotta watch the
sausage,
helium one.
Which, that has to be, like, actually dangerous. Barbie sausage.
Ah! Don't tell. Wait, I watched the Barbie one. He took apart the. No, he had a Barbie doll and he chucked it into the grinder, and then bits and pieces of Barbie's hair and head was mixed in with fucking beef. It was the most atrocious thing I've ever seen. And he had to eat it. That's the worst part. He needs to eat every single sausage that he does, even if it's cursed, even if it tastes bad. Oh my god. There were some episodes where like, oh man, he actually did a really decent, nice sausage. But on the others, I'm like, oh, his poor fucking gut system. He can't handle it, bro. No.
Peepsy sausage, which is Peeps and Pepsi. Bird dog sausage.
Okay, that's cursed.
Bird dog sausage. That just sounds good because it's already kind of a sausage.
Yeah.
But that good for
more you
him,
look,
I
the more
suppose,
rabbit
for
hole.
his creativity and being able to do this because he uploads pretty frequently. That it's at least a couple times a week.
I'm glad that he's doing fun. Like he's getting like all the help that he needs from YouTube, right? But he also does stuff like this. So imagine going to a family gathering and having to explain what you do on the internet. It's something I still haven't spoken about with my parents, so I'm kind of afraid of them like finding out my content. Oh, one of them did. It was my little sister. She found stuff in my room and she was like, "What does that mean? What's SoyMilk?" And then she found a bunch of my
Found your
videos
secret
on
identity.
YouTube. Yeah, oh my god.
I feel like ordinary sausage is easier to explain to your family during the holidays than being a VTuber because at least his is just, oh, I have a YouTube channel where I make sausage with a bunch of things and I taste different things, and that he doesn't even need to mention that he does the particularly cursed ones, that he can just say, you know, I use different types of meat and different types of ingredients and try the sausage, and then I rate them. And that's a very easy, simple, accurate, technically accurate explanation of what he does, and that my guess is the follow-up questions from the family might be, oh, what was some of the interesting ones? And that he doesn't need to mention the cursed stuff. He has enough viable, normal stuff, or at least sort of just exotic meats, that he can sort of skirt that issue and keep the explanation during the holidays simple. But VTubers are going to have the very difficult part of, okay, so here's all this technology that most of you probably have never heard of, and here's how it works, and here's like this character or this model that I voice and I move, and depending on what type of content you do, it can be a lot more difficult to explain than I make sausages and tell people what I think about them.
Yeah, I feel like if I were to explain it to my parents, I'd be like, I'm just an artist, because they understand like I draw a lot. So I'd be like, I just stream my art, just like how you watch those podcasters talk. I just stream my art. I would explain that to my sisters.
That's probably the way out of just, yes, I do art and stream myself doing the art, and I actually have a piece of art that I use that represents me.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of which, we actually do have some of your art here, so I'm going to go on and move us over here. Blah, blah.
Yay!
So,
man, I love, like, I had a really interesting art journey. I started back in 2009. I think I was drawing since first grade when I was 6, but I was like, I don't know, I'm just playing around with those things. But I found out that, like, just an influence from my family, because my mom used to doodle a lot. My sister used to draw over Bratz. My cousin is an artist. She's actually a very, like, famous artist. So it kind of just runs in the family. And then I was like, you know what? I really like this because I could put my feelings into it. And I was a kid who couldn't really express feelings very well. So it's like, oh, hey, I found an outlet where I can, experience things I could do. Especially since I was a kid with a big imagination. Like, I think a part of my childhood is like, like a normal kid childhood. But I was like, I liked the idea of being an inventor when I was a child. So it kind of just, influences my career at the, later parts of my life. But I was like, bro, I want to be an inventor. I want to do things. So I would just make up games. I would invite my cousins over to our grandparents' house. And we had those really tough pillows that you could just like I would use it as like domino Lego pieces, and I would just like make a maze, make a tunnel. Sometimes we'd like play as Booth. I was really into role play and shit. So this was like a lot of my childhood. One time I found a really interesting program called Windows Movie Maker on the family computer, and I really loved computers when I was small. I was like, yeah, technology, I love this stuff. So I was technologically like good when I was smaller, and whatchamacallit, I found out how to record and do funny videos.
That's how it always starts.
Yeah, and then I was like, wait, I know how to draw too, so how about I combine art and animation and do some silly things on the internet? I do have some of those silly videos saved on my really, really old hard drive that I recovered. I will be showing some of that stuff as a subathon reward pretty soon.
Oh yes,
I'm very scared.
You have your upcoming stinkathon.
Yes,
and
I have
by
a
the way,
stinkathon.
There is something that you have on there that I feel the need to warn you about. Thank you for reminding me. You have on your list that every $25 you will eat a beanboozled.
Yes!
Soy?
Yes!
Soy.
Where is it?
Soy,
I got 3 boxes!
This is important, Soy. Have you ever had beanboozled before?
No.
That's what I thought. Because if you'd had beanboozled before, you would understand that $25 is not enough. I'm here to warn you, Soy, that I made a very similar mistake during my first anniversary charity marathon when I said I was even worse than yours. I said 3 beans for $20 because I was thinking, oh, they're just jelly beans, that they won't be filling or anything. It's fine. It'll be fine. They probably taste not good, but whatever. I did not understand just how vile, just how disgusting those beans are. It is not a 50-50 split in those boxes. Like, the dirty bandage one is warm. I don't know how it is warm, but it gets into your sinuses, into your nose. The dirty dish one, I spat out. Like, I gagged. I had to stop. About 15 beans in, I told chat, I know I have a queue of like 30 beans left. I need to cancel those. We will negotiate anyone who's already made the charity donations. Tell me what you would like me to do instead of eating these beans, because if I continue eating these beans, I will get sick. Like, I was feeling my stomach starting to turn at the 15th bean or so. And I knew that if I didn't stop, it was going to become a very unfun stream. So I'm kind of thinking that you might want to increase the amount that you eat a bean at, Soy, because if you're not careful, I like to think I have a pretty good stomach. Like, I can eat a lot of stuff. I'm not very picky when it comes to food. Usually things won't make me feel sick, so the fact that it made my stomach turn
I
was
gagged so
surprising to me.
easily. Oh no! Oh, thanks for the warning. Now I know what to do. Now that my chat knows that, they're gonna weaponize it. Now that you said that, they're gonna go like, oh, we're gonna hard focus on that.
Don't be. If you want to keep it as it is for the start, maybe your stomach is stronger than mine. Maybe I just had a particular weakness to beanboozled, but don't be afraid to put a stop to it if it gets past a certain point. That
yes,
I trust that you're going to be smart about it, but I felt the need to warn you that you expect beanboozled to be bad if you've never had it before.
Not smart,
you think, oh, it's probably pretty nasty. I have so much respect for the people who made beanboozled. They did what they set out to do. It is a total success, and it is disgusting.
Should I start the first day with the spicy one then? Because I got the spicy one too.
I haven't had the spicy one. I only had the original, like, 3rd or 4th gen, whatever it is, with, smelly socks, dirty dishwater used damage.
Yeah, I got two boxes of those and one box of the spicy.
Is probably going to be easier because at least that's just heat, and yes, it will be uncomfortable, but not nauseating, I would think. I can't say, though, because I haven't had those beans. I brought the BeanBoozled back for the 2nd anniversary charity marathon, but instead of 3 beans for $20, it was 1 bean for $200. And it was a thing of, okay, if you want me to eat BeanBoozled for charity, I will do it, but I have standards now.
The funny thing is I priced Pilk, which is digestible, at 100. I should have had it the other way around.
I had Pilk as the, I think, $2,000 goal because I wasn't sure because I had never had it before, and after having BeanBoozled, I put it up high because I didn't want it to be something super easy, and I thought it was fine. The big thing that I had heard, which was very accurate, is make sure both the Pepsi and the milk are chilled. That if you have room temperature Pepsi with cold milk, the milk will curdle.
Yes, that's what happened to me, and that's why I had to stop because I was like, God, this is gross. I can't keep doing this anymore. If you have them both in the refrigerator beforehand and just pour them into each other while they're still chilled, it's basically like an ice cream float. At that point, it's not nearly as bad. Because I've never had that flavor. I was like, what are people talking about?
Yeah, it's fine as long as they're both chilled. That's the big thing that people miss on, is that they will have lukewarm Pepsi, and then it's nasty. So that's your cheat code. I was fine. I drank that whole big glass, and the only reason that my stomach was upset was because I chugged it, and if I had sipped it slowly, I'm sure I would have been fine. That's just, I drank it too fast. It wasn't, I don't think, because of the Pilk itself. And even then, I would drink Pilk 100 times instead of BeanBoozled.
Oh no, I think I put me in a... What if, like, I lower the flavor? You know, like I mix it with something else to make it feel better? Like, I would eat something nice afterwards? Does it help? Or do I have to consume it raw?
For the Pilk or for the bean?
The beans.
The trouble with the beans is that, since they're jelly beans, they get stuck in your teeth. That you're trying to chew them and get them out of your mouth, and they just get stuck. You can probably have other stuff to potentially overpower it, but at that point I do feel like it's kind of defeating the point that I get why BeanBoozled is what it is, and I will suffer for a price. I just didn't set the price right. That was the problem. And I see your price and I say that might be a bit low.
I know I should have, like, discussed my goals with someone else, but I was like, nah, I'll be fine. Well, I'm such an idiot.
So, for what it's worth, your price isn't as bad as mine was. Like I said, I had 3 for $20. I was real dumb. Yours, 1 for $25, I can understand. That feels like it should be reasonable. Because, like I said, if you haven't had BeanBoozled, you can't understand how gross they are. And just when you think, oh, it's going to taste kind of yucky, that one yucky bite for $25, that sounds perfectly reasonable. I think that your thought process was totally fine, and it's just because BeanBoozled is so good at what it does.
Trusted my community a little bit too much, you know? I feel like there's gonna be a lot of $25 donos coming in.
200 is probably a bit high. I said it's super high because of how much I suffered and because it became
you
a bit
don't want to
unto
suffer
itself.
again.
Yeah, that I would have said probably 50-ish, somewhere around there. So I don't think that 200's necessarily where it needs to be, and that 25 isn't nothing. But
it should have been 50.
This has been the PSA.
It should have been 50.
This has been the warning. I hope that it ends up all right.
I hope so, but I'll update you. I'll DM you. I'll be like, Jay, I've had 5 beans and I can't take it. I want to stop. I'll let you know as soon as it happens.
Definitely.
Yes. What was the topic before that?
Yeah, we got a little sidetracked that you were talking about doing art.
My childhood.
Childhood. And then how did we get to the subathon, the stinkathon?
I think it was like I was supposed to show my old videos. So those videos are like, those old videos are on par of like, you know, those really crudely drawn MS Paint animations of anime girls going like, hoo hee, you know that one?
Yeah.
So it was literally like that because, you know, those crude animations were, you know, making fun of the era of YouTube where everybody wanted to be an animator. I was one of those people. So I did insane Naruto animations when I was a kid.
That's right. You mentioned Naruto animations. I'm very curious about how that went.
I'm so shy. Like incredibly shy. Like I am very. This is the thing that I'm terrified. I'm not terrified of doing anything else. Maybe not even the BeanBoozles, but now I am. But that one is scary. That one it's got me jumbling in my bones. Cause like, it's sensitive. It's me when I was small and I was doing dinky things and. I feel like it's gonna be a good time. But hey, if you can, this is a limited time offer. You only see them once, you're never gonna see them again. And if you ever turn them into emotes, I will hunt you down like a hawk. I'll transform into a hawk if I want to. But pretty much I started off like that, and I wanted to take art a little bit seriously, so I kind of went through phases of art where I'm like, I don't like anime, I want to do hyper-realism. I kind of like cartoons, so I want to do semi-realism. And now I've gone back into a full circle and embraced anime head-on, and my art style has changed quite a lot, but I've been happy with my art today. Even today, I was invited to a collab with my friendos, and we were just doodling a bunch of stuff, and those stuff that I've doodled is like cursed beyond like human, what's that word? Cursed beyond human imagination. Because like, I did a doodle I'm really proud of. I kind of want you to show that on stream.
Oh, okay.
Where is it? I'm gonna go grab it. Bum 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 bum. Mr. Sandman.
Send me a meme. Make it the cringiest that I've ever seen.
Yes! Oh my god, we gotta make that into a full song. Me and Jay gonna write a parody song together.
Maybe that would be a goal for the 3rd anniversary charity marathon, that I write a parody song.
Yes!
That would have to be a high one, though. I'm not gonna do that just for, you know, $1,000. That has to be. Oh, this is so. I saw. I looked at the left side and I was like, oh, this is so cute. And then I saw the right side and.
Yep. So I had a headcanon. I was like, we only see the front of a model. What happens if we see the back?
1 second. Let me get this in.
Yes.
OBS.
Oh,
and we'll come back to Tobbs in a moment.
We'll come back to it, yes. I am a tangential person. I'll go on many tangents. You guys know that.
I wouldn't have it any other way. This is a talk show.
Yes.
So, get rid of that one. on, put that there. I was saying earlier, I love studio mode. It's awesome. If you stream, that little button that says studio mode over by Go Live and all that jazz, and it feels like not a lot of people use it or know what it is because they naturally just go for the Go Live button. Studio mode lets you actually change things and then, well, while you're live, and then you can hit it again and it will actually implement those changes without you having to be dragging and resizing things. So 1, 2, 3, ta-da! I saw the left side and was like, oh, that's such a cute, and just then we saw the right side.
See, I was thinking, what if we don't know what happens in the VTuber model? We only see the front, we don't see the back. We can see the back of the hair, but that's about it. But in the front, you know, it's all pretty. It's all the bells and whistles. It's all the physics. And the back is held by glue. And I was like, what if I just show my fucking ass?
Surprise! All VTuber outfits are actually just aprons. Yes, her stuck right there, apron.
Yes, it's actually something funny.
Also, I just love the expression, how confident you are there.
Absolutely, I was like, you know, I'm showing it off. I got nothing to be afraid of, and yeah, it's not like. Well, there's actually a lot of doodles I made. I want to show you all of them, but it will take a long time. How about we show the actual artwork that I've worked really hard on and did not shitpost?
So
yeah.
Back to the top one. You mentioned that your style has transformed a lot over the years. That you started out very anime style, then tended toward more realistic, and have come back to re-embrace the anime style. But I look at this piece of Tob, and this certainly feels like a more realistic anime art, if that makes sense. That it's not super chibi, that apart from the eyes and just, you know, their relative size, that this feels like a more realistic piece. But also, full disclosure, I am not good at art. I'm good at many things. Art is not one of them. I like to try and make some insightful comments and try to ask some insightful questions when I have guests that are artists and that are very good at what they do, which you are. So I may flub up a lot of this in terms of my commentary.
No, it's okay.
I'm doing my best.
No, I mean, art is art. People can interpret it any other way, and if someone forces an interpretation, well, I guess they can't. But I the only reason I am only doing art because I've kind of like art takes a long time and my brain capacity is very little. So if I gotta do art, I gotta do it either a shitposty style or a full piece for a specific somebody. So most of my recent artwork is just me and people, or just giving them a birthday present. Cause yeah, I know I love giving them birthday presents. I feel like if I can't give them a physical present or a game on Steam, I'll just do something with my hands. And to other people, they say that the art feels a lot more precious.
Oh yeah, because you can't buy this. I said earlier, time is a precious resource and one of the most valuable things that someone can have, and that when you are making a piece of art, not only is it the art that you're presenting, but you are saying that you spent time making this, thinking about it, and that the detail, the work that went into this. Do you even have an estimate of how many hours you spent on this piece?
My recent pieces have all been 6 hours, but I bet if I spend more time, it would be a lot more polished.
You did this in 6 hours?
Yes!
Holy shit! Like,
I've gone a little bit fast.
That is one of the things that anyone can be good at art. It takes time to be good at art, though. That even if you have a level of natural talent, it is practice and iteration. And I say that I am bad at art, which I am, but I acknowledge if I wanted to spend the time to get good at art, I could, but it would take many years, potentially classes, potentially not, and that to get to this level, that this 6-hour piece is the result of however many years and those other hours over time. And I think that's one of the most telling things about an artist's skill level, of their speed to quality ratio, that This type of quality in 6 hours would take other people 12, 24 hours. Others, it might take, I don't even, like, to say that this could be done in 2 hours is still a stretch, and even then, that I don't know many, if any, offhand that could do that. So you being able to have this in 6 hours, that speaks to your level of skill, Soy.
I feel like this just speaks to a lot of practice as well. Like, I didn't get there without, like, discovering and trying new things. Because I used to, I still complain about how long it takes for me to, like, do an artwork. Because I wish I could be faster. But the more I practice, the more I get faster at it. Because my hand is used to all that muscle memory. So I don't really have to worry too much. But for any aspiring artists that are going like, man, art is so hard, it takes time. It's gonna take a lot of time the first time you do it, but trust me, if you keep at it, you're gonna be like, man, this shit's easy. This goes with a lot of things in life, like working out or trying a new skill, learning something new. First time, it's gonna suck. It's gonna go through all, you're gonna go through all the notion of you're not good enough and all that sort of stuff. But trust me, have that motivation, have that drive that keeps you going, and you're gonna get there. Like, I do that with VTubing, and I do that with everything in my life so far. That's why I'm a big advocate for learn new things. I know a lot of people go like, man, I'm skillless and I can't do anything. And I'm like, you are so lucky to exist in this generation, in this, like, day-to-day, time. Because back in the day, people couldn't do jack shit. They didn't have the info, they didn't have the knowledge, and even if they had to, they would go through a lot of hardship just to get one information.
Yep.
But
the whole thing of the entirety of human history and knowledge in your pocket. It sounds, it's sort of trite at this point, but it's true. The fact that I can just click on my browser, Control-T, type in a couple words, any question, almost any question, 99.9% of practical questions that could be asked, I can have the answer with relative reliability in 5 seconds.
Even doctors use the internet. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And obviously, you want to make sure that, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
That's true.
If you know how to vet your sources and which questions are more likely to have bad information versus, okay, if I want to look up a historical date, I'm going to be pretty confident that what I see posted on Wikipedia is correct, because that's just, a simple fact of history. If it's something science related, well, that could actually change, because obviously what we know about science changes every day. That if you were to ask certain questions about what humanity knows about astronomy 200 years ago, 50 years ago, is going to vary. So make sure your sources are up to date. But there's so much information that you can access so easily, and it's really freaking cool.
Right! So don't waste that opportunity. Do something about it. And even if you did find something or a lot of things, don't be afraid to share. Trust me. Whatever you do, like, it's gonna be... Like, I have this, like, conscious thing where, like, if I do something good will come to me. It's always... It's something I truly believe in. Like, if I keep doing good will come to me. Even if, like, times are hard or I'm struggling real hard, it's gonna come. I just gotta, you never know when it's gonna happen. So, pretty much just, help people out. If you have, like, certain information that you possess, and, share some of that. Do good in the world. You might be, a step in a way to help somebody, find, improve someone's skill or get better, or, I don't know, if you're somebody who's, like, super intelligent and you make, in CPUs, you might help a student out there. Cough. We're gonna talk about the career thing later. I do have a lot of things in mind to talk about, but internet has helped me out. And if you are a person who goes like, man, I can't do anything, you have all the information at the in your pocket, so don't waste it. That's why I, like, learned so many skills. I cannot focus on one skill. I cannot. I like, my brain goes into, like, different things. I'm like, what can I do now? I've learned these things, but what can I try? When I was really small, I was like, I want to invent a tabletop game. I want to make a game. So I just got, like, I drew over, like, certain things, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna invite my cousin so we could play a tabletop game. It was like made of like cards and stuff, and we had a real fun time. And then I was like, nah, I'm bored. I want to move to the next thing, and to the next thing, and to the next thing. Like one time I was like, I should be an animator. No, I should be this, and I should do this. Like I'm kind of really proud. That's one thing I'm really proud about. Is like I've learned 3D modeling. I've learned voice acting. I've learned editing. I've learned whatchamacallit. I've learned rigging. That's a skill I didn't think I would ever do. I thought it was too hard, but yeah. And not only that, I even know like technical things. Like I know programming, hardware specifically, and I keep tinkering with little things. Like I want to make circuits. Oh no, I want to do needle felting. This is something I'm preparing for. I think it's like my newest hobby working, but it's just really fun, and those skills help you out in the long way. If you're like somebody who's looking to get a job, you're gonna get hired a lot more if you have a lot of variety skills. Yes.
This edible ghost, you'll be a centuple threat by the end. Yes, indeed. And also,
thanks, edible ghost.
We also have Captain Krabs. Are we having old people talk? I'm so down. Yes. Welcome in, Captain Krabs. Oh, and Aki, welcome on in. Two fantastic past guests. Krabs being an artist himself. Aki being a fantastic speedrunner that she's actually been in the middle of her own charity event, and just yesterday did a blindfolded run of Mario 64.
Yeah! It's amazing!
I need to actually go back and see that VOD because I happened to tune in right at the end of the stream, so I missed the run. I saw the end screen, but holy cow. Any time that you're doing a blindfolded run is just... That is...
It's insane. Aki's so skilled. Aki's incredible.
Welcome on in, you two.
I can imagine because Aki's awesome. Yeah. Aki's a cool friend. Every time I want to hang out and see Aki playing game, I go like, I want to.
But for this piece, so obviously it was for Tob's birthday, so the balloons make perfect sense, and that you have the nice little forest background. I love the detail, one, of the lighting. That you have the lighting that's sort of like almost a lens flare in the upper right corner, but you have it shining against her hair, and then you can also see sort of the dust particles that are just hanging in the air from that. Did you have a particular vision for this piece when you started it, or was it, okay, let's make Todd first and then see where your fancy takes you?
Since I was on a time restraint, I tried to sketch multiple thumbnails. I was like, what if I sketch her smoking some, hitting some, doobie with like bat sword? I was like, no, that's gonna take a while. What if I draw hugging her from behind? No, that's gonna take a while. So I just sketched out the face and felt it, and then I started doing like other thumbnails, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna keep going with it. So I just went there with how I felt, and I was like, all the fan art, you just keep drawing Tob in an insane way. I've never seen fan art where it's like it's pretty. So I was like, I want to be the first to do it. I'm sure there's other people that have done it, but I was like, has anybody given Tob a pretty birthday present? I don't think so. I want to do it. It's a very funny thing that happened when I was DMing her the present. I was like, okay, I'm gonna send this, and then I was laying on my bed. I was really tired. And I was like going through memes to send to Mugi, and I actually sent them to Tob. I sent so many memes to Tob, and I was like, no, I burned. Oh, this is gonna be so cringe. Oh my god, why did I do that? And then she saw that I was sending a bunch of stuff, and I had to delete that. I was like, I'm so sorry. And then she was like, no, I watched them all. They're really funny. Hey, do you want to join my VR chat party? And I was like, Did I just fuck up so hard I ended up winning?
Task failed successfully.
I don't know what happened. I really did not expect to be like doing a VR chat party with Tob. I'm usually the one watching Tob, right? So like when she invited me, I was like, Tibble, thank you. It was really fun. We got to hang out. It wasn't the first time I got to hang out with Tob. I think I did VR meetup, I believe, the first time, and then I was too awkward, and we hugged and stuff. We took pictures, and I ran away before she got to friend me. I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go. But yeah, I love Tib. Tib is cool.
I also love your signature. when people have fun, creative signatures for their art, that it always makes me smile, and that yours is relatively simple, but, you just the little extra smiley face in the O and the year and the line under it, it adds the personality.
I'm glad you noticed that. That's, okay, I've had that style of signatures since 2014. I started keeping in track how many years I've done that, because I want to know when I did this drawing. So the year is really important for me. Like, I keep in track of all of the stuff. I used to go by the name of Fofa. It's just a cute nickname. I had to change it to SoyMilk because of the relentless jokes. Because my name was supposed to be my OC, so I was doing Fofa art. People kept reading as faux fart, so I changed it, and I was like, "Yay! I've escaped the farts! Yeah, no more farts! Ha 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 ha! The farts are not escapable. You can't do anything. Can't do anything. You can't get rid of them. Absolutely. If I remove fart from my stream, my chat's gonna cry. They're gonna go like, "We can't fart on Soy." Yeah.
You cannot escape this.
Can't escape it. Absolutely not. You know what? At this point, you just gotta, oh, oh my god, I forgot the joke that was saying. What the fuck is wrong with my brain? you gotta, what's the joke? Oh, eat ass and rip gas.
There we go. Yes. Commit to the bit.
I have memory loss, bro. What's happening to me? Who are you? I finally don't know where I am now. It's getting really worse trying to recall things. I've heard this is a problem if you it's overstudy. I'm a perfectionist, I guess, so I tend to focus on trying to get good grades because I just saw the benefits of it. Like, I don't say I'm smart. I just say I know the ways around the exams, so that's what it is. Whatchamacallit? When I was in high school, there was an interesting thing happening where my parents are putting pressure on me to get a scholarship, because a scholarship does you so good. If you get that scholarship, you'd have to pay zero tuition fees. Yeah. You'd be one of those grandchildren or something, I don't know. So the company pretty much, not the company, sorry, the country pretty much invests in you. And a lot of kids also have the same scholarships. It wasn't really a special thing. A lot of people had that, but my country basically gives me free tuition, and they give me an allowance every month. And oh boy, I have spent that allowance on VTubing things. Getting books? Nah, I'm just gonna rip them from I'm gonna get a PDF of somewhere. I had my friend help me get my books because I couldn't know where I could find them, so he pretty much found every single book that I have, so I didn't really have to pay for books. That quote-unquote allowance to help me in school, bruh, nah. nah.
The academic textbook industry is such a racket.
Right?
I understand, and I'm fully in support of people getting paid for their work. Don't get me wrong, and that I understand that researchers and people that, the companies that make the books, they don't just get made, that there are materials required. There's people that are working at the book company in terms of templating and making sure that there's all the distribution going on, and obviously the people who did the research for the books. But come on. The costs that they have, and the fact that there's a new edition every single year, and there's a lot of I do not like.
I don't want to pay $300 for a textbook.
And then it's $150 for one class, $200 for another, and all these things, and it adds up to be so freaking much, and just do not like. There has to be a better way to do this, and that I do not begrudge you for finding alternate methods to get your textbooks, because you're, Anywho, but I know a lot of people.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I know a lot of people that have used government funds for VTuber things.
listen. They're giving me the money. They don't need to know where it goes.
Well, and if you ever need to write it off, that all this stuff is once again going toward your art education, and that you can say that this is helping you learn any number of things, and there you go.
Yeah,
I'm sure we can make this work.
But if they were like $60 each book, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine.
That's okay.
I only need like 3, so it's gonna be like what? 100
180
something. Yeah, 180. Yeah, that's fine. I could afford that. But the problem is some books are like $300. You bet your ass I'm not gonna spend $300. I'm just gonna go find somebody, that precious soul who shared that PDF. Bless them, honestly, for saving the lives of many kids. I actually did that. I had to buy one textbook, and I was really pissed because I have beef with a certain publishing company.
Oh.
Yeah. So they had an ebook, and they were not the best at finding covering all the problems. So they had this thing where like you're only allowed to print 10 pages for an hour.
What?
Yeah. I printed those to PDF because like you're allowed to like print to digital. So I printed 10 pages each hour. I did not give up. I was like, fuck them. I'm doing this. So I compiled an entire 400-page book. By the end of it, it took like a few days, man. It took so many sessions. They kicked me out. They were like, why are you here for too long? But I did it. I compiled that book, and then I put it on MediaFire, and then I sent it to like student group chats, and then it spread. It spread a lot. There's like 60,000 downloads now.
You always see those files around, and someone has to do it. So thank you for being the hero, Soy.
No problem. I'm happy to help people. Yeah, every time I see like people sharing the book when in the group chat, I'll be like, "Is that my scan?" Yeah, that's my scan.
I'm someone who, like I said, people deserve to get paid for their work, and that there's a lot of things when it comes to certain types of piracy that I'm like, no, please support the official release. Please help make sure that the people who put in a lot of time and effort into this work are getting paid and are able to make ends meet. The folks who do academic textbooks, I'm sure that people have gotten paid, and at a certain point it is to excess. And yeah, like I said, that's one that I have significantly less sympathy for than most other industries.
Yeah.
And that it's a knowledge thing. This is a knowledge thing. This is for the betterment of people. It's not like it's entertainment or something. It's not like it's some luxury. That this is knowledge, information, and you're already paying for tuition. And even if you're not the one paying, if it's a grant, that people are being paid to educate. And like you were saying, if it was $60, if it was even maybe $100, that's okay. But
yeah, down with the publishing companies, down with them. I still have some books from my college that I haven't sold yet, and I kind of want to try selling them because, like, there's some kids who need them, and I'm not going to sell them with the original price. I'm going to bump it down a lot, so, they deserve it. Yeah, I'm not trying to make a profit off of it. I'm just trying to help some kids.
Yeah. Let's see here. The next piece we have is actually one of a past guest, and that's IU. This one is a completely different style than the first.
Yes, I guess I could call myself a flip-flopper now, because I keep changing my art style quite a lot. So this one I tried like something completely new, and it's cell shading, and I really enjoyed it because it's a chibi. I noticed I like sketching on my iPad, which is actually one of the best things my community has ever done to me. During my college years, we swapped from online to hybrid, so you have to like be online on some weeks and on campus on some weeks. So one of the things that really pissed me off is I couldn't get my notes that I put on my computer because I use my tablet to take notes. And for majority of my online classes, I relied on that tablet. But that tablet is a display monitor, and I can't take it with me to school. So I was like, I really hate asking. Like, this is something I still struggle with. I feel so embarrassed. I feel so like it's kind of like a vulnerability thing when I have to ask somebody of funds. Like even the donathon, I almost canceled it multiple times because I was like flip-flopping in my head. But my friends reassured me. They were like, "This is something good. You're gonna do a lot of it. You're gonna have fun, and it's gonna help fund a project that you're gonna work on." So yeah. So it was one of the first things that my Soy Boys funded for me, and I was really shy and reluctant to like, tell them. I was like, hey, I don't know, I really need this, but I can't afford it right now because like I blew over all my student allowance. So what do I do? But I put it in there, and in 3 days I got enough. It was the fastest thing. I was like, this is insane. There's no way. My community is just so kind. And I always have to put this in mind. I'm like, people had to work really hard. People had to go to work, wake up in the morning, like muster all the fucking energy, go day by day, even if their work sucks. They come to my stream to like escape from that, right? Because they can't. It's unbearable. Sometimes life can be so unbearable. You just want to escape and hide in a little, side in the corner. And the fact that I'm able to help people, it doesn't fix their problems. I'm sure people like have a lot of problems, like I do. But if it can help them for a little bit and make them feel better, what's it call it? Yeah. So when I
being able to offer a little bit of an escape.
Yeah, so every time I think about the fact that there's a lot of people who are willing to put their time, effort, and support into funding things that I need, is like, it always makes me cry because like, I'm just a dork on the internet. I don't feel like I deserve any of this stuff.
Well, I got some good and bad news for you, Soy. You're probably going to be crying a lot in a couple days.
Hey, no, I'm crying now. There's tears in my eyes. It's fine. I'm fine. But like, it just means a lot. It just genuinely means a lot. And I try my best to show it to my chat anytime. Like one of the first times someone like followed or subbed to me, I was like flabbergasted. I was like, "There's no way someone actually did this." They gave me something that's really precious to them. Like they could buy a sandwich with that. They could, get their own new, video game and all that stuff. Get, human enrichment. But no, they decided to help me out for a little bit, and I just. The only way I could feel like I have to feel good about it is if I give them something back. So I started to sing for them. I was like, yes, I'm gonna do a sing song. So it started out with like, thank you for the follow, and then it went into something that's like a staple of my channel. It's like you can't go in my stream without hearing that song.
It's the Soy jingle.
Yeah, it's a Soy jingle, and it's just my community's creativity is something I cherish the most. If I see a Soy boy that is really talented, I see that talent, I immediately put it on the spotlight. Look at this guy! This guy can do music. He does music. I credit him and all that sort of stuff. And then I did not think that song would make people really happy. Every time they hear it, they go like, "Oh, this makes me really happy." Even for people who have been on my channel and subbed for a long time, every time the jingle comes on, they get really giddy about it, and it just makes me so happy, man. I'm happy I got to make them giddy and stuff. It's just my way of giving back, because there's no way I can take that and be like, "Thank you," and go back to my stream. That's completely like not. Does it feel good? So I have to make sure I give them the special time that, and tell them, "Hey, thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping a dinky little streamer like me." Every fund that I get from my Twitch, like I usually use my student fees my student allowance for like fun stuff and VTubing, but almost all of my paycheck from Twitch goes back into it. There's one time I had to like go like, oh man, I kind of want to get a haircut, and I used Twitch money for it, and I was like, I feel so bad. Why do I feel so bad? I feel like I shouldn't use it for that. I should, pay editors to help edit some stuff. But yeah, no. I told my chat, they were like, bro, you're fine. You should take care of yourself. This is why we give it to you.
Less responsible things with their Twitch payout than getting a haircut.
I also used it to get necessities, and I was like, should I really do that? And they were like, bitch, this is why we give it to you, so you can do that. So you don't have to feel like you're, you can't do any of that on the regular. And I was like, thank you.
They're just yelling at you. That's the point.
Yeah, so the iPad pretty much came in clutch because it really helped me out a lot. A lot. I believe I would have not gotten my degree without that iPad. And my chat support, of course. And, like, my own work. But trust me, if I used note-taking, I would have never gotten some of the questions right. Because, like, I could take my iPad everywhere with me. I could, like, use it for notes and stuff. Sometimes when I use it for art, I feel a little bit guilty. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to draw on it. But now that I'm done with school, my iPad is kind of like my sketching pad. So, yeah. I've used that sketching pad for like day-to-day sketching, quick art, and I use it as my initial phase of drawing. Like a lot of my art, I like to sketch on my iPad. So this piece that you see with me on Ayu Huggin, I just drew it. I think it was school because Ayu's birthday is on April, so I was out in school and I was like, you know what? I have a 5-hour break. Might as well crank out that iPad and start sketching and line arting. And then after that, I sent it to my PC for coloring because I color a lot better on a big monitor.
I actually just double-checked. IU was episode 24, and this is episode 124. So
is
it's
that
exactly
when she was 3D?
Yes, it was.
Oh my god!
I just closed it because I forget. It was right before she had her shift from 3D to 2D, I believe.
Yeah, I remember seeing Ayu around that time, and I was like, man, I'm so shy. I don't know if I could approach her. And the opposite happened. She approached me.
Actually, no, wait, no. It was right after she had her 2D debut that it was like the week after that debut. So when I invited her, when I had been watching her, she was still 3D. And I think that we had our pre-interview and she was still 3D, and that it was actually timed. I think we delayed it just a couple days to have it so she would be able to have her 2D model. But it was her very first
so cool.
2D model, and she's had several since.
Yes, she one time she was like, Soy, can I grab you for a little bit? I was like, yes. What do you want to show me? And then she busted out her new goddess model, and I was like, like jaw drop, awooga awooga, sniff sniff, honk honk. I was like that. I was exactly like that. So the art that you see is actually her old design, not the current one. So that's why.
Yeah. No, this one is fantastic.
I love it.
I'm trying to tell. So for the background, I'm guessing, did you use either a stock image and then blur it, or is this something that...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So April was the busiest month for me because I had to finish up my prototype before I graduated. One thing I forgot to mention is I went to school as a computer engineer, and as an engineer, you have to finish your basically credits by making a prototype. Everything that you learn comes down into one single thing. By everything you learn is you have to discover everything, and by doing research, because no one teaches you anything, so anything that you learn is just calculation. None of the hardware stuff. I still can't believe I call myself an engineer and all I know how to do is just math and numbers and equations. So I started teaching myself how to prototype on my own, because I find it really, really fun. But yeah. whatchamacallit, I had to rush this piece. Even though I didn't want to, I would have loved to make my own background, but this is one of those classical VTuber background, and I just blurred it, put it on the back, and called it a day. But it still looks nice either way.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense, that is a very common tactic, and also just, yeah, you had a lot of other stuff that was very important to take care of.
But my friend!
I was not a engineer. I went to school for business and marketing.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I had a lot of friends.
My school had,
I have a lot
my
of
school
friends
had
who were
business
engineers.
people.
I have so many friends who
Yeah.
were engineers. I had roommates that were math majors, and every so often I would just
Whoa.
glance at their homework, and I would just say, "I'm glad you enjoy that. I'm that those
not for
things
everybody.
on your paper. That scares me."
I know we make it look easy because we're doing it, but trust me, you're also dying inside. It's not
they
easy.
were all
You
very
gotta
open about
shed
the
a
fact that
tear
they
or
were
two.
dying, and I was like, "Yeah, you go on and keep doing that. I will be over here doing my business case studies. Thank you very much."
But you know what? When I was like done with school and finishing up my classes, one of my communications teachers was like, "Hey, even if you're an A student and do really good, you know, A students work under C students." And I was like, "So you're saying is
What you're saying is I didn't need to try.
I didn't need to push that hard and burn my brain out. I could have just walked out with any grade, but no. Soy can't have 1B on her credit. No, she has to get A or A minus. She can't she can't do any less. She can't do any less." I found out that my school had to bump me to a B plus because they thought my paper looked really sus. Like, how come she gets like A minuses and A's? She has to have at least 1B. And I found out this is a standard procedure for every single student whose GPA
What?
is like 3.9. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It
They
is
had to bump me down.
It is standard procedure to not let have a student. Sorry, it is standard procedure to not let a student have a 4.0. It
Nope.
is standard procedure to just hand wave, sabotage, say, "You're not perfect. Nobody is perfect, and we're going to make sure that nobody graduates from our institution with a perfect GPA." I feel like, wouldn't most institutions do the other way around? Wouldn't they want for their data that they send to whatever publications or ranking things or government for funding to say, "Look at all of the students that have graduated from our institution with a 4.0. Wouldn't they want
It's
to?
very possible to get a 4.0, but the only reason they do this is because like a lot of companies would think that school is sus. So if you're going into going to get hired or interviews, they're gonna be like, "This is very sus. What school did you get into?" They don't want to put the students at a tougher place. But
That's
yeah, that be
interesting. Okay, I hadn't actually thought about it from that angle of, if an employer sees 4.0 on a resume, does that get written off as, anyone can put a 4.0, basically nobody's actually going to get a 4.0 statistically speaking, so does that make them look at a resume and say, "Oh, they're probably lying," whereas, "Oh, they're close and they messed up a little bit," and that just seems more realistic, so that in actuality the school is trying to help you? That's a really I can't tell if
Yeah.
that's infuriating or galaxy brained.
I just I don't know. I have never been in a position where I got interviewed or have been an employer, so I don't really know when to spot out the bad resumes from the good resumes. But as far as I know, that's what my school does, and I've tried to argue with teachers about it, and they're like, "Can't help you." Sometimes they tell me, "Hey, that B plus is good for you," but I don't know, man. Still takes a plunge into my heart. I want to be straight A's.
My GPA was above a 3.5 and definitely below a 3.9. That I never tried to get a 4.0 and was just okay with it, and that I'm not sure what it's like where you are, but there were certain honors that you can get. That there is cum laude, summa cum laude, magna cum laude, things of that nature, and that's for like the top GPA folks. And to get that, you needed like a 3.9, and I didn't have that. And my parents asked initially, they were like, "Hey, we know you usually do pretty good with academics. Did you get any honors?" And I said, "No." And it's because if I was going to get an honor, it would have to be crazy high. And they saw how absurdly high it was to get those. And they're like, "Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, no, that we wouldn't want you getting that, because if you got that high a GPA, that probably meant that you weren't spending time on other things. At least for the things that I was doing, just like that. Yeah.
I would say if I didn't focus on VTubing and I hardcore focused on academics, I would have probably gotten that 4.0, but man, I'd just be really depressed. So VTubing came in clutch for me at that point. So. Yeah.
Also,
I'm happy
Chilean now.
about it.
Thank you for the follow.
Hey, Chilean, welcome in.
Yeah, so,
Oh, that's another piece I did too. There's another piece, artwork piece that I did. You mind showing up?
Yeah, that you have in fact graduated the good kind.
The good kind!
The
Yay!
original kind. The classic graduation. The one that we are very happy to see. We're not holding flowers, we're holding a diploma.
Yes, we're holding a big degree that says I'm a big boy now. But I wanted initially to not draw my own graduation artwork. I wanted my friend to draw it, but she was very busy at that time. So I can't believe I'm graduated. Oh no! Oh, what's happening? I'm disappearing.
Yep, welcome to the Soy graduation stream, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. It's nice meeting you guys. But whatchamacallit? When I sketched it during class, and it was one of my operating system class. And my friend was like, "Oh, it looks really pretty. You should finish it." So I was like, "You know what? I've never done this like workflow before, where I start with a rough sketch and color over the rough sketch. But I found out it was very fun. It's super fun to do this because like I love trying new things, and for some reason I was like, man, this looks impossible. But no, it's not impossible. I did it, and you can do it too." So I had a really fun time, and you can see like out of all the pieces that I've done, this one looks the most like it has a lot of passion into it. I was genuinely proud. I was like, I did that, even though like it sounds like I got off easy because like I had my scholarship and everything, but like I also had to work for that scholarship, right? I got there, and this is something I've only realized recently. Like, hey, it's okay to be proud of your own accomplishments. Not a lot of people could do those, and even if they did, you're one of them now. So yeah, it just makes me happy. And when I posted it on Twitter, I was like, I think this is gonna be good. And then the post blew up. At least for my typical like engagement. I was like, there's a lot of people
because that's a big deal, and that whether you are still in school working toward graduation, or if you have graduated, or if you're done, that you understand that graduation from school is a big thing. It's a very happy thing. It's something that is supposed to be celebrated, and something that you should be proud of. That there's certainly a line between being proud of oneself and being vain. That you're not saying, "Oh, I did this thing and now I'm like superior to everyone," like, or being haughty about it. That it's like, no, I put in a lot of time and effort and work, and I accomplished a goal. Getting a degree is a goal, a long-term goal.
Yeah, and we did it. I didn't do it alone. Of course, my chat's with me because they had to sit down and watch me study live. I was like, you know what? I love streaming. I love, I enjoy studying a little bit. I don't enjoy it, but I do find it really fun whenever I do homework and I go like, yeah, I solved it. So like I would invite my chat. Sometimes I wouldn't want to stream, but I still want to, like study around people because it keeps me at like this. It keeps me like, hey, there's people watching, so you gotta focus now. You can't like do and doze off and your thoughts are doodle around. So I made a channel on Discord called Boog Brain, and I was telling them, hey, Boog Brain's never gonna last. So because this is a temporary channel, everybody wrote a bunch of stuff and they did lots of crazy things. And I was like, why does this always happen whenever we have Boog Brain time? Why? Why whenever I study, my chat decides to go crazy? Even though I'm quiet, I'm barely saying anything and just focusing, they're doing lots of stupid shit. So it kind of became into something super special. There are some people who are co-working alongside me. And
that's so cool. And it's because you made it something special. You made it something that people knew would be temporary. So that automatically makes it a bit more precious and something that people are going to pay more attention to. And that we have the I miss Boog Brain, Rip Boog Brain here in the chat. That obviously it did stick with a lot of people. And that's so cool that you were able to, one, sort of find a solution for you that worked in terms of studying, because at first glance you might think, oh, wouldn't streaming distract you? Isn't that going to actually detract from your studying? But I understand completely where the mindset came from of, okay, if I'm streaming, I know that I can't actually slack off because I have people watching me, and that it is actually easier for me to slack off when I'm not actually under scrutiny or being watched. And that's a very smart thing to do, that you found a workaround there.
I was kind of like, there were like really genuinely smart people in my chat too. There were like people who were teaching me Java, and I hate Java, by the way. I can go on about like the optimization of Java. It's like genuinely horrid. But there were people who were like, oh yeah, I'm actually a senior programmer. Let's help you. And I was like, what? I'm learning this for the first time. I'm like, yep, we're gonna teach you how to code. So they pretty much taught me everything. There are some subjects where like people were just like, what the fuck am I seeing? I don't know I don't understand it. So I was like, yeah, I'm good at those. But there are some where like it's general things like programming and stuff. They were like helping me out. Even general education, where like I was studying teamwork, group management, conflict management. I had one of my viewers basically who was a team leader at a very, very important job. I would say very, very important job. And he was, teaching me how he handles his team. And I was like, oh man, I don't think authoritarian leadership is a good leadership. He told me that is the most important leadership ever. Because in life or death situation, you can't be like, how about we discuss the solution? No, it's get down. So, yeah. So, when we celebrated my graduation, this is a sentence that never comes out of any VTuber. When we celebrated my graduation, we decided to commemorate Boog Brain, give it the one last hooray. So I joined while I was live, and my chat was like saying, soy join Boog Brain. I was like, okay, I'll join. So they all started singing along because I was doing the karaoke, but they all were like collectively, let's sing.
That's so
I got to hear my community do country roads. Almost said country roads.
Of course it was country roads.
But still, it's so precious. I get so happy when they do stuff like this, honestly. I get happy when they make memes, man. I feel like I don't see enough VTubers appreciating their own community's memes. I like shit posts. I want people to post their shit posts. I make my own too, but whatchamacallit? Whenever my community does some, I was like, I gotta share. people gotta see whatever they created. But yeah, we commemorated Book Brain. It was the saddest thing ever, and I miss it. I think I miss my study streams. There were people who joined my channel for the first time. They're like, "Oh yeah, I've heard of you. You were studying math."
Like maybe that's the type of stream to go back to, of just, all right, maybe it's not you studying this time, but that it is a stream that is meant for people who are studying. So you are either a study buddy of, okay, in chat, if there's something that you need looked up, that I'll Google something academic for you here live on stream and help you out with that. Or if there is an academic problem that you think I might be able to help with, you can ask and I will try my best. Or I will just be that voice there that we can parallel study, and that I can help be, even if not literally, just mentally, that other person in the room, like you were saying, to be quote-unquote watching you, to help encourage them to stay on task, or, you know, give them that little bit of extra focus, or just background noise that they might need.
Yeah, apparently a lot of people who join in my study streams refresh their knowledge from watching me do things. I had a senior Twitch developer watch my streams a lot when I was doing data structures, because it has to do with networking and things. I even studied network on stream, and that was the most fun, like insanely fun subject I've ever studied. It's still useful to this day because I pretty much use the internet. Sometimes I go like, hey, I know why things are going wrong. The packets are dropping. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So sometimes I would go like, oh no, my internet's cutting. I'm like, no, my packets are dropping. Guys, what's happening?
I know why my stream is dying. I can't do anything to stop it, but I know why.
It's like knowledge that comes out of the weirdest ways. But like, yeah, it's pretty interesting seeing people come up to like refresh their knowledge. I've had a college teacher, give me questions to like help study with. They were like, oh yeah, I taught the subject multiple times with my students. It's really nice seeing you study. And then they had to DM me on Twitter a problem, and I solved it. I was getting really excited because I had a certain issue with that problem and I never understood it. I never did. And then they gave me that problem, and every time I would solve it, they would go like, no, try again. You're doing something. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it again. I got it again until like I got it perfectly. And then when I went to the exam, the question wasn't there, but one of the important steps in that question ended up being there. I was like, yes, I could do this. Like, it's like a graph almost, and it's like, oh, can you like solve this graph in a specific way? The graph didn't come, but it's the other way around almost. But I still solved it. I'm very proud of that. So I gotta hand it to my chat too. So it's not that I got that degree alone. We got it together. We're a team. We're a team.
Our degree.
Our degree, exactly. Let me get a sip of water. If anyone in chat wants to get a sip of water.
Yeah, I don't have redeems because I'm not an affiliate, but imagine that there was a hydrate redeem right now. I have water too, yeah.
Yeah, water break.
It is a very unique thing of the VTuber community, though, that around spring, at least for how academic school years are generally structured in the US, I'm not sure about abroad, but that in the US, most folks will graduate in May-ish, that some people will graduate in winter, but I'd say that, you know, if they took a single extra semester but not a full year, but I'd say on average, spitballing 75-80% of folks will graduate in May, in spring, and that it's a unique problem, or if not a problem, it is a unique situation at the very least in the VTuber community, that when the G word is used, that people will say, hey, I'm busy this week because my graduation is coming up. and that people will have to do a double take of, wait a minute, you're graduating? I don't remember seeing an announcement about that. And we're like, no, I'm finishing my degree. And that people have to be mindful and clarify, I am graduating from college in all capital letters, from university in all capital letters, or that they will just use a different phrasing entirely of just, hey, I'm getting my degree, that they won't even use the G word because they know that, unfortunately, for us here in the VTuber community, that it has taken on a completely new meaning, and that we just sort of reflexively, if you are reading VTuber Twitter, that you are going to default to that definition, whereas if you're reading basically anywhere else on the internet, at least for me, that my brain will automatically, if I see something from, I don't know, a text from my parent of, hey, cousin's graduation is coming up, that I know very clearly, and my brain already is going to flip to academic graduation. But in these circles, if you see that word, you are going to not think of academics, and that people need to be very, very clear about anything they post with that word.
Yes.
And that even if it's, for academics, that there's always just those double takes that you end up having, usually in the spring, sometimes in the winter, or at other times. But when people are celebrating getting their degrees, you need to be very clear about it.
Yeah, exactly. I've had a bunch of people who saw my announcement despite me being very, very, very clear that I'm, pursuing like academics and I'm finishing it pretty soon. Because like I tweet about it almost all the time. It's like my life almost, right? They still think I'm like, oh no, so he's leaving us. She's gone. She no. So to combat this, I put a timer at the corner that says time until Soy graduates from college. And despite the timer's effort, there were still people who did not read the word college.
Rule 1, people never read.
Yeah. People never read. They say graduate, they're like, oh my god. But yeah, it's only like a few times, but the most people that come by, they completely understand so far. But I can't read. Doc, that's a skill issue, okay? So, what do we call it? It's a thing that happens, but I haven't really had, the thing
some
where
number
like
of people, like Lamp was saying, are just going to joke about it being the other meaning of graduation, and then it's just going to confuse the people that actually don't know.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's still funny.
Oh yeah.
I joked about saying like, hey, maybe I should joke about like me graduating, but there was a really big streamer that graduated, and the topic or like the area around the time was very, very heavy. So I did not want people to assume like, oh, she's going away. That would create a lot of confusion. If things were normal, I would have been like, haha, I'm graduating. See you guys later, suckers. But I could not at the time. It's a very sensitive topic. There were like 4 different big VTuber graduations or like disbanding, and I was like, yeah, not a good idea.
I've seen some people make what are supposed to be joke posts that they will say, I'm sorry everyone, I have to go away. I hate those. And then at the end of the long wall of text, it's going to be some joke.
I got a big booty or something.
Yes, that exact one was one of them that just, they obviously hadn't seen that some 2 hours prior, a major agency VTuber had announced that they were going to graduate, and that it just, they didn't plan that. And that it probably just, it was an unfortunate timing, but also I do think that in the community nowadays in general, it's probably safest to just not make those types of jokes.
Exactly. But honestly, for those people that are just like really sad about their creator like leaving, this is just a normal way of life, and maybe I think it would help ease their mind a little bit if they didn't assume that the person playing the character is gonna die.
Yeah.
For some people, they think like, oh, VTuber graduating, that's it, she's dead, she's gone, I will never think about her again.
That's one of the big things that, especially when it comes to agency graduations, that I take
Yeah.
that all with a grain of salt, that sometimes folks graduate from an agency and that is it, that they are done with content creation, and that's okay. That, goodness knows, especially if you have been in a big agency, that it can either burn you out or just at least open your eyes and let you know, okay, this isn't something long-term for me. Others are going to return to other incarnations in very short order, and
Pretty much.
that you need to sort of wait and see, and it's going to vary. And when I see people graduate, whether it be an agency VTuber or someone who's independent, that my hope is always just that the graduation is leading to something positive, whether that be an agency VTuber realizing that the agency life isn't for them and perhaps returning to independent content creation, or an independent going the other way, or either side saying, you know, this just isn't for me after all. That I'm happy for them as long as they are happy. That if I've seen people have graduations and be like, yeah, I'm just not gonna be doing content. I'm not making this up. I'm not going to an agency. This just wasn't for me. And that, while I'm a little bit sad at times of just, oh, I did enjoy your content, I'd much rather that they be happy. I certainly wouldn't want them to keep going and pushing and being miserable. That
Exactly.
if they're happy, I'm happy.
Honestly, exactly. Like, at first, whenever I see a graduation post, I go like, man, I'm gonna miss that character. But as long as the person's doing okay, I always think of it as in a positive note, and it usually is positive.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the worst ones is two, actually, is bait graduations. Like, there was one where, like, I think they're a newcomer and they've just started August of 23, and their account is like very tiny, and you know, because of the season, everybody going back to work, so they gotta quit VTubing and focus on their job or school or whatever they're pursuing. So they kept seeing those posts and they're like, you know what, I can get attention, makes up a two graduation and uses it as bait.
Like, I was just saying,
saw
I think
that so much. I was like, there's no way this is happening. You can't be serious. But people are serious. They're using that as to get pity points or and attention. And I'm like, that is not the way to go about it, man. You know, as a person who's been in the game for a while, that's not the way to go about it.
Like I said, I think that nowadays, that a while back, those types of joke posts were funny. But I think that nowadays they are more likely to come off as insensitive. And in particular, I feel like it is a thing right now. Like, as of day of broadcast, we are in the middle of September 2023, that people have been saying, oh, it feels like there's a lot of graduations happening lately. And my input on that is, I think that this is actually a symptom of VTubing growing. Because what's happened over the past several years is VTubing has just exploded. There's so many more VTubers now. There's so many people that are debuting
so
every single day.
now.
And just numerically, that if let's just make up some random statistics here. Let's say that 3% of VTubers, that 3% of the VTuber community will graduate every month. Let's make up, I don't know, that 10% of the VTuber community will graduate every half year or something. I don't know, that those two stats obviously don't line up with each other, but suppose there is a amount, some subset, that back in the day when the VTubing community was much, much smaller, if that 3, 5, whatever percentage statistic held, that would mean that you have a certain number of graduations happening every month, every half year, whatever. But as the number of VTubers increases, even if the percentage of VTubers graduating stays exactly the same, that means the absolute number of graduations happening during any given month will increase. And I think that's what's happening. That in the past 2-3 years, VTubing has had its huge boom. So many hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of VTubers have debuted. And that as a natural part of any content creation, any community cycle, that a certain number of people are going to realize just over time that this isn't for them, or that they're going to have real things come up. Like you said, I think a big thing right now is school. That a lot of people are saying, okay, I still have to get my degree, so I'm going to stop doing this because it's just too much for me to balance. And that's okay. That's good. That the big thing that I always say for VTubers when they decide to stop is, I don't like the term graduation unless you are a corporate VTuber. Because for corporations, if you are leaving, that character is gone. That character is not going to come back. That the agency is not going to fill that VTuber with another person. They are not going to have that talent come back after a year or so. That's not how it works. But if you are an independent VTuber, my general opinion, and obviously I'm not a VTuber myself, so
just say you quit or hiatus.
That's it. I think the term indefinite hiatus is what people should generally use if you're not a corporate VTuber, because what if you change your mind? That graduation is such a finite, absolute term that it is associated with irreversibility. But if you
cannot
say,
go back after.
Because if you say, all right, I'm graduating, and then come back later, there have been instances of that, and then people get accused of basically emotional manipulation, which
I've seen it.
Which is kind of true. But if you say, hey, indefinite hiatus, there's just such a different connotation between graduation and indefinite hiatus that even if you say, hey, I might not come back ever, my current plan is to never come back, but that it leaves you that back door of if you change your mind, if you're away for a year, 2 years, and then you realize, I want to try this again. I really did enjoy some of it. And even if I left because I was burnt out, I'm ready to try again. I've learned things about the world, about myself, and I have ideas of how I can do this again in a way that is more healthy than me, or more healthy for me. But graduation, like we said, gives that tension, but if it's indefinite hiatus, that just leaves it as an option. And I think that's much better for independence. And fortunately, I think that the uptake of the term indefinite hiatus has increased lately. I've seen a lot more people use it, and I'm happy to see that. Genuinely happy to see that. But wrapping things back, I think the reason that we're seeing a lot of people announcing their indefinite hiatus or graduation, either or, is just because there's more VTubers, and that it's because the community has grown so much that we now see numerically more, and that it's not actually a bubble bursting. It's not an issue of that there's this mass burnout or anything. I think it's just statistics. I think it is just statistics, and that the number of debuts...
You're actually right.
The number of debuts, goodness knows, is still vastly exceeding graduations, hiatuses, whichever you want to call. VTubing as a whole, bigger than ever. Hololive just debuted another generation. VTubers at conventions, concerts, merch distribution, convention guests. That it's bigger than ever. VTubing is not going anywhere. People come, people go, and it's natural to be sad about seeing people go. There's nothing wrong with that. Do celebrate and commiserate. Be sad if a creator that you really enjoy is going away for whatever period of time. That is okay.
But be happy for them, because
be happy, and
it's
also,
good for them.
And also, don't think that the sky is falling. VTubing is not burning. It is not a bubble. VTubing is very much here to stay. It's only going to grow from here. And that there will be that level of churn. There will be a certain number of people. Just like any other type of content creation that, normal YouTubers, normal streamers say, hey, I'm stopping, or I'm, shelving the project. I don't know what the prevalent term is really for non-VTubers, but those communities have people come and go too. We're not special in that way.
But in a sense, like, I understand in the viewer perspective where, like, they get really sad. But, if you always think positively, it's always good. But, I don't know. I feel like the future of VTubing, we're going steady. We are hitting somewhat of a plateau, but trust me, I feel like there's still so much room, because with the amount of people graduating, there's going to be lots of viewers that don't know where to go or seem a little bit lost. I've hosted 2 communities on my channel, and it's really nice seeing them. Oh, hey, they're coming to me because like their own VTubers got, and the only way I can remind them of that sense of small community is they want to join me, and I'm taking care of them very well.
Yeah,
I want to reassure them. I'm
Mhm.
taking care of them very well.
And that's another really
yeah.
cool thing, just not just for VTubers, but for content creation, that there are
Hmm.
so many people, and that even if you have this one, that if you have your favorite, you have your Oshi, and that's not to say that you're necessarily replacing them, but there are other people out there that you will likely enjoy, and that it doesn't take too much searching to find them.
There are ways to mitigate the possibility of someone getting burnt out, because I've seen this a lot. This is like posts after posts that I've been reading. I had to tune out my Twitter algorithm to not show me people getting burnt out posts, but it's just keep reminding your audience that, hey, you can support me without like monetary. You can support me in other ways. You can watch my YouTube videos, you can interact with my content, you can help me with engagements. You know, the person needs it, and it's okay to ask for that. Don't be really shy and expect it out of nowhere. You know, you and your community are building this together. You're not alone.
It is okay to promote yourself. It is okay to say, hey,
exactly,
you know, if this is going to be viable for me, this is sort of my baseline. This is my goal of I want to stay or I want to become a full-time content creator, and this is where it needs to be. And that's okay. That as long as you're not pressuring people, that there's a difference between promoting and being frank and pressuring.
Yep. Pressuring is awful. Avoid that, but don't be like, if I don't get 5 likes on this post, I will do this. No. Just be like, hey, if you haven't seen this yet, check it out. I worked really hard on it, you know, without being frankly too annoying, because there's our baseline, right? But don't be afraid to do this, or remind your community, like, hey, make sure to support me on this and that. It really helps out along the way too. And don't be afraid to learn new things. I always say that, learn new things. Oh, but yeah, we didn't get part 2 of the one Twitter post. Oh yeah, so the first part is the one who... The first one is the one who baits people, and the other one is the one that I'm currently talking about, is the people who are just burnt out. They're like, this isn't for me, I don't really like this, this is too hard. It's the negativity cycle. Yeah, that's why I always wanted to talk about the 5 pillars of success. I've watched like a lot of videos. You know, I like knowledge and stuff, so I watch a bunch of stuff on how people keep going and things, because even me, the person who sounds like she got her heads on her shoulders, she's fumbling the bag. I have cried multiple times thinking I'm never gonna make it, that I'm just this one lowly person who nobody cares about. And I know saying it to my audience now kind of hurts, because I'm like, sorry, we really thought that? I genuinely did. I genuinely said I'm never gonna do anything. You know, I don't find this part fun, or man, I'm getting really burnt out. All you gotta do is just take a break. And, you know, that break came out really in a good time, because I got to spend time with my family. I remember, you know, a few days before my break, I was in a really low mental state. I even was like really shy about it, but my community was, you know, really kind, and they were like, wow, so we didn't know that, you know, you were feeling this way. And I was like, yeah, sometimes I am. But back to the 5 pillars of success. This is something I hold true to my heart, and I always gotta remind it to myself, is you gotta have passion. Passion is quite important. You don't want to do a job that you hate. You gotta have motivation. You gotta have some goals that you place, something to keep you going, or something to think about. And then there's so passion, motivation, reward. If you keep doing this, you can reward yourself with like nice things. You get to buy nice things or stuff. Treat yourself for all the hard work, you know, so you can avoid getting burnt out. And the other one is knowledge. Knowledge. 100% on that. You can't do anything and work really hard and hitting a plateau. You just gotta keep looking, keep searching. And the last one is networking, because that's also really important. I know people can be a little bit shy. Hi, I'm a shy person right here. But trust me, just stepping out of that circle and learning how to communicate with other people is very important. You never know. You never know where it can get you. You never know how many people you're going to help and how many people they're going to help you. So networking, passion, motivation, reward, and what's the last one? I forgot. But those 5 pillars, hold them to your heart. Keep working hard and all that sort of stuff. Well, there's like sub tiers below that is being punctual. Like I'm never punctual. I'm always late to my own streams. I had a friend of mine that told me like what's the advice like you give for like new people, and she was like be on time. Trust me, your viewers gonna really appreciate it. And I'm like thinking about that. I'm like, I'm gonna do you proud. I'm trying to be on time, I swear to God, but I can never be consistent.
I think it's be on time for the important things, and that being a little bit late for a stream, like I was running a couple minutes late today, and that at the very least, for me, when I think of being punctual, that it is, yes, if it's something important, if it's something where there's another party who is going to be waiting, I consider it important to be as close to on time as you can. If you can't, to at least communicate, hey, I am running late, and like this is the expected time delay. That I made a point to send you a message and say, hey, Soy, running a couple minutes late, should be ready real soon, and that I was ready within 10-15 minutes, and that's okay. That's very, very
cool. Being a little bit late is fine. You don't have to be on time at this minute and this clock. You never know. Maybe you could burn yourself out for being on time on this clock. You gotta give yourself a little bit more, a little bit more time. But call it? I have this. I need to remind myself of doing this because of how important it is to me. Because sometimes I oversleep and I miss my streams, and I hate announcing a stream and then going to bed and never waking up, because that happened before. And then I went live super late and I had my chat just saying late, and I was like, no, don't say late, I hate that, that's the worst. So I became incredibly insecure about it, and I just if I'm not waking up on time, I'm never gonna make an announcement before it. So that's why I just I wake up and I go like, I scheduled it at 6. It's fine. I'll start at 8:30. 8:30 is my go live time now.
Close enough. It's close enough.
Close enough. As long as, I don't skip it out and don't tell my audience, because I feel like distrust is really, really bad. I don't want to ever cause distrust. And if I ever do, I want my community to also communicate that. Like, hey, so you promised this. And I was like, you're right. I still gotta do this. It's 8:30 now. Go live now. Imagine.
It is 8:30 on the East Coast of the United States right now, as of time of broadcast.
But yeah, I still, and also, even if I'm gonna be late, I still gotta communicate it. Like you said, this is something I'm still gonna need to work on. Gotta say, hey, I'm gonna run in late. But I've noticed, as a viewer or a Discord user, wake up, so it's time to stream. No, it's not time to stream. It's my day off. What do I call it? But just communicate it with your community. That's quite important to any other person, man. Today I was actually really upset because there was a really important collab and I didn't know when it was gonna start, so I was freaking out. And they didn't tell me, they delayed it. I had to find it in a chat. Yeah, I was like, oof. I was like, that's okay. But I wish they just told me. I wish they told me they delayed it. Because I was busy doing something. I was wrapping my brother's books so he doesn't spill liquids on top of them. So I was like, oh god, I wish they just DM'd the group chat to say, hey, we're running 30 minutes late. I didn't know that. I didn't know. But it's okay. Yeah. Sometimes if you never know when things are gonna happen, don't be afraid to ask, because I like to be the person to ask. you know, because
communication is key.
maybe you remind the other person, right? You go like, oh yeah, we're supposed to do this. We have this on time. That's right.
Yeah.
So.
We do actually have one last piece of art, and this one is a very cute one of you. I'm not quite sure how brushing water hair works, but you make it work.
Yeah, this is the graduation present I did for Wabu before she graduated.
Yeah,
She
graduation
told me.
stuff.
Yeah. So she told me I think I joined her stream and I was like, she was talking about her hair and how her hair is incredibly long, like she's just super long hair. And I was like, oh, some days I want to just braid your hair and brush it. She was like, yes, I want Soy to brush my hair. I want Soy to brush my hair. So it's like, as a cute parting present, I want to brush her hair. Because it just means
I didn't know that there was actually that story
You
behind
know.
this piece. That's really sweet.
Yeah, it does have a story. Like she said I could do it, so I was like, okay, I'll draw a cute parting image. You know, it's very
making
nice.
sure her hair is all nice and ready for her for the trip before she hits the road.
Yes, before she has to go back to the waterland. Yeah. But I hope she's really happy wherever she is now. I still miss her, that little dinky goober, but I see her holding up pretty well so far, so I'm kind of happy about it.
Yeah. And I like the detail that you have on this one of just, both for you and her, all the little things of the shell, the coral, making sure that you have just some of the speckles. And we have, you like for the, one second, I'm going to bring up the top one again, that I initially thought, okay, this is sort of, you're in the forest and that you will sometimes see dust and dirt particles in the air when the sun hits it just right. But then I started to notice, it wasn't in this one that you had, not in this one either. Okay, so maybe it is just these two. But, nope, that's the wrong one. I'm clicking this one, but that you have some of the speckles here, and that this is just more accents. I suppose that obviously this is an indoors one.
It's my favorite piece. It's my favorite touch. Look up the background. I had to request Snow. Look at my model. She got speckles all over. She got speckles everywhere. I think it's just my touch. Now that I think about it, I don't have speckles in my new design. Huh. No, I don't want to trouble the artist even more. I've had complaints that this design and the details were a lot painful for people to draw. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep that off. Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited about my new model. Oh, I'm so excited. Every time I see this stuff, I get really excited. Ooh, for people who are watching this, you guys are lucky because you get to hear a sneak peek of things you don't even get to hear about until the subathon. But this time, I might not even draw my model because I've drawn and rigged this one, but because of time constraints, I'm supposed to be doing someone else's model. So I'm not gonna be drawing this one, the next one, unfortunately. But I put my own character in the trust of somebody else. And she's gonna look very pretty. She's gonna be amazing. And I hope you're not sad about that. Soy, the artist rigger. I mean, I am still an artist and a rigger, but not for this project. Not for this one. But maybe in the next coming ones, So that's some, sneak peek type of stuff for people. Yeah. And for Jay, I want to show you.
Oh.
It's gonna take a long time to load.
Live reaction.
I mean, I kind of told my soy boys in my Discord today that I'm not gonna be able to draw the model, but I kind of wanted to see how they reacted to it, and all of them were like, "That's fine." I was like, "Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. That's cool." Oh, I can still put fun stuff into the rigging, but honestly, art, especially doing the art for the models, is a lot harder than doing rigging. Rigging is easy. I implore everybody to pick up rigging. But yeah.
I'm terrified of both rigging and art. So.
Art is hard. It's hard to make art like look good in a specific way. You need like a lot of practice, and the practice takes years. But rigging, I've seen people rig like something and it looks alright. Like you're just basically moving a paper puppet, because that's what models are. They're paper puppets. Have you seen one of those like really cute puppet girls dancing, and they're like, you know, they're very adorable. They're very like they move really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah. It's also a lot of layers. It's a modern.
VTubers are like onions, which are like ogres. They have layers. Also,
so this time I was like,
I'm looking at the new design. There's no room for speckles here. There's so much other stuff going on. Oh my gosh.
Isn't it? It just captures, like, this is my own art, so I can't wait to see what the artist can do. But the sketch that I did, I can't wait to see what their little hands can do on this one, because it just feels like me. It even fits my voice too, and all the new stuff that I added is like, I don't know, it's a lot more spunky, a lot more fun to draw too. I've tried to go like, what does it feel like to draw this, you know, art or model, and it feels a lot more fun than this one. This one kind of feels like meh, but the next one is like, it's very fun to draw, which is the plan, because I went through several irritations of the artwork. It started out as too much detail, too heavy, and I even shared one of my original designs that I actually paid for. I paid a designer to design my next model because I wasn't too sure of my own skills. And then I showed it to people. I was like, hey, this is going to be the new one. I'm kind of scared of drawing it. And then I showed it to people, and they were like, you know, I don't think it looks really nice, but it's too much on my eyes. And I was like, oh, now that you mention it, I can't unsee it. I cannot unsee it. So actually, I'll show Jay what my original design was gonna be, and you're gonna look at the difference. You're gonna be like, wow, this is an improvement. It's so different, but it's an improvement, right? There's still a lot of detail, but like if you're an artist, it's okay to skip out on these details. I don't really mind that much. But yeah, she went through so much. At first, I tried to simplify her, and then I hated the simplification, and then I was like, how about we just start over from scratch? And yeah, that process took 4 months. It took 4 months. It took a lot out of me mentally. I was going back and forth, flip-flopping like an idiot. And Movie was there to watch it all because, like, I needed some fucking friend to reassure me.
I just got the image.
Oh, yeah.
That's really cool. That's really busy.
But, right? As soon as I was like that, I was like, I don't really like that anymore. I'm just going to take the parts that I like and then put it on that one. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I did. And it just looks so much better now. It got the right colors, it got the right ratio, and yeah, it's nice now.
Maybe after
and it feels
the
like
debut, you show people these concepts and say, hey, if any artists out there feel like doing something with this, here you go, because it's a cool concept for sure, and that it, you know, whoever that is this concept the second of the 3 images that you've sent me? Is that your work? I see a signature that doesn't
the bottom?
look like yours. The one with the color bars,
Yeah, the body was drawn by someone else, but I did the head.
Okay, yeah. That
pretty much.
that, you know, they put in a lot of effort on it, and it looks very good. So like, maybe you can just sort of post that and say, you know, here was sort of a concept that we had, didn't end up going with it, but I think it's still a neat design that people would want to see after you've had the debut of the final design, and that maybe an artist will be inspired by it and want to do something with it. And if not, whatever, that I think it's fun in its own way to show sort of the journey that you went through to find the model that you eventually fell in love with.
Yeah, I've been even gifted a design by one of my my cousin, and I kept looking at it more and more, and again, it still does not feel like me. This one actually my chat like quite a lot. It's a kimono soy.
I'm actually going to move us back to the main screen. Also, you have frozen for a moment. Are you still there? Uh-oh. Please stand by, folks. It's Soyver. Yeah, give me just... Oh, we're back. We're Soy back.
Hi! Oh my god! Classic Soy fashion, they kicked me out. It's Soy back!
All right, yeah, just stand by, folks. We're gonna get this back up. Here we go.
No!
All right, there we are.
Man, what was the last thing you heard?
So we were talking about the design, and I was saying that it might be fun to post the different ones to see, you know, maybe an artist will be inspired by it, or just to sort of show the work that the artist did on it and say, you know, this was the journey that we went through to get to the model that you eventually fell in love with. I shifted us back to the main screen since we were done mostly talking about the other pieces of art. But yeah, that you have, like, these are really cool designs, and I think that people will love seeing them. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. She just sent a fourth.
There's another one. I know, I have so many designs.
That's a seasonal one that you actually, there was a recent Twitter thing going around of VTuber versus the Pokemon they think they are, that people think they are. And that you actually chose, why am I blanking on the name of the Pokemon now all of a sudden? Shoot.
Deerling.
Yes, thank you, Deerling. And that it has a different form for each season. And I thought that was a really good one for you, obviously being, you know, Ear, Horns, Kieran, and that you could just have, a la Deerling, a different outfit for each season. Obviously, that's a lot of work and money and time.
I'm glad you mentioned that. You know, wouldn't it be a shame if I had a specific outfit for each season? Man, that would be a lot of work. Like,
can't imagine
maybe
that.
Summer outfit? Or, oh, now that it's getting summery, we should, you know, switch into a cool, you know, chill vibe since I... Oh, we're celebrating something so cool. How about we dress up in a costume for Halloween? Oh, we're in a bunny outfit now. And
I mean, that's about to be relevant, but we are 11 days away, 12 days away from October, and goodness knows that once spooky season comes around, that we're going to be seeing a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch of horror VTubers that are going to have a field day, but also different outfits. Plus, it is Year of the Rabbit, so we saw a lot of funny outfits earlier in the year. But yeah, so you just went through, I think that's 5 active outfits. 5!
So I am a big fan of seasonal models because, like, I can't like, my attention span is so little. I cannot look at one model and be like, forever. No, I gotta have more.
Well, I
gotta
think
have
this
more.
one that you
This is why I like
this one you sent me, I think would be a great addition to the lineup.
Yes, I would love to. I think the next time, right after when I'm completely done from my commission queue, what's in my call it? Yeah, I get to keep designing my own outfits and stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be really fun. I'm gonna be drawing my own. Drawing an outfit is a lot easier once you have a base going. When I first did my outfit, I had to only work with the head and the body was empty. And then I did my summer outfit, and I was like, oh my god, she's basically in a swimsuit. I can use that to put other outfits on top of it. That's perfect. And it takes like about a week, 2 weeks to finish the whole work. And in 2 weeks, imagine pumping out an outfit every 2 weeks. Imagine pumping out an outfit every 2 freaking
Remember,
weeks.
Soy,
That is insane.
I'm not an artist. The fact that you could do a piece in 6 hours of any quality is already mind-boggling to me. The concept of making an entire outfit in 2 weeks is just terrifying. And
This was done in
that's a superpower.
I think Christmas break. I was really busy with school. Like I said, I was a senior in my college. So the fact that I was able to do this while my tablet was breaking on me, like she does have a few glitches. Like one time I went bald, like, and there was a hole in my head, and I was like, oh no, the hole. My chat fucking lost it at the hole, and they were like, when I had to fix it, they were like, no, rest in peace, Soy head hole. We can't have the hole. See, they were saying they missed the hole.
Where you plug the wig into when you put it on.
Right. Right. So, rest in peace, pull the hole. Rest in peace. Everything dies around me. I mean, I'm a yokai after all. But, yeah, I love seasonal outfit ideas. And who knows, maybe if I become successful at VTuber and I keep going, I should be able to fund my model art each time. Hopefully, the thing is if you're your own artist, you pretty much make your own time on your own. But if you rely on someone else, there's gonna be lots of time delays and other stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is the double-edged sword of it. That if you're your own artist, that means that you can make anything if you have the time.
Oh my god. If I did not have to work on someone else's stuff, I would have probably finished my model now. Pretty much on my own. But maybe I wouldn't have been too happy with the result. I would have gone with that really complicated design and didn't feel really happy and all this sort of stuff. So all in all, things take time, and that's okay. No one is rushing you and having like, come on, Soy, you gotta do this at this time, at this date, at this clock. Nah. No one's doing that sort of stuff. And yeah, just take your time, enjoy things. Like, I think also if you pace it correctly, your viewers also won't go like imagine, I feel like this is a big VTuber problem, where like they keep pushing out new models every now and then. Like, I pace mine good. I feel like I've paced my models and outfits pretty well. But I feel like, imagine like you have to keep up a new outfit every single time. That's a lot of money sink. It's a lot of money sink, and then your viewers won't feel like debuts are special anymore. Because like, oh yeah, another outfit. Psh, bro, the $7,000 down the drain is just. Psh, I would cry. I don't want someone to think about 12. Like, imagine spending 12 grand for just a debut that you do every now and then, and pumping them out a lot. I feel like you don't want them to get too used to it. You gotta hype it up, right? You gotta pace it up.
Yeah. And that, you know, perhaps one of the folks that is more prolific for that, and I do think it is a genuinely positive thing, and I'll get to why, is that Iron Mouse did a whole bunch of outfit debuts, and some people felt it was back to back, and I actually have sort of a mixed opinion on it, because I do understand, yes, she did have a lot, but it's a twofold thing. One, if she has the money, she can spend on whatever the heck she wants. That's fine for her. Two, the artists are getting paid. That it's super fantastic that there's a whole bunch of artists that probably got paid a lot of money to make those outfits, and that they get to say, you know, they now have an Iron Mouse outfit on their resume, and that's super cool. Also, that during outfit debuts, generally speaking, you're going to see an influx of donations and subs and things like that. So, in a way, those debuts were probably funding themselves. And that I'm relatively confident at this point in time that Iron Mouse is financially stable, and that she wouldn't have done.
Iron Mouse can do
I'm sure
a lot
she's
of things
just
that she
fine.
can.
That
it's only a problem with other people who can't have the same do it.
Yeah,
that's when I go
financially responsible for sure. But you know, I look at her stuff and say, hey, if that's how she wants to spend her money, plus, like I said, one, it's probably sort of self-funding, and two, that money is going to other places. That she's obviously not using it as a self-funding thing, that she's paying all those artists, and if she ends up having a bit of extra profit at the end of it, well, she's a content creator, that's cool, and that that she is helping stimulate the VTuber artist and rigger economy. So I see that as a good thing.
Yeah, because Mosie's super talented, and not only that, she just helps out the community in a lot more ways than people think. She sets the standards. It's true.
Absolutely, yes. Nothing but respect.
It's only when I get to worry about, like, are they gonna be okay? Are they gonna be able to pay rent? You don't really have to, like, do that model now. I worry about that because not everybody can have like 11,000 viewers on an average. That's like a special type of person, right?
Yeah,
but
certainly.
Just because you see someone else doing that doesn't mean I can do this. You gotta self-reflect. There's a lot of things I said I could do this, but then I had to self-reflect and go like, yeah, let me ground myself a little bit. Not for like smaller things, but like,
like
realistic. Just be
I've
realistic.
heard of people doing a lot more irresponsible things than using their money for a haircut.
See, that's what I'm saying. Then it's gonna be okay. Gonna remind myself, hey, it's fine to treat yourself. But just don't overuse that Twitch money to help pay for food deliveries, because that's kind of bad. you don't want to eat at restaurants every day. You gotta learn how to, it's probably a lot cheaper too if you go to go there yourself, or if you learn to cook. I feel like cooking is one of the newest things that I've been wanting to do.
The amount of money that I've saved in the past several years because I drastically reduced the amount that I ate out or drove through. It didn't hit me until a couple months after doing it just how much money I was saving, and that I'm still very lazy as a cook, that when I go to the grocery store or when I have groceries delivered, that I'll get a lot of like microwavable stuff or simple stuff. That one of my go-to meals is rice plus frozen vegetables plus some sort of protein. And sometimes,
that's so yummy!
And that's sometimes as simple as, like, I will make lazy katsu curry, which is
yummy!
But like, here's the thing, so it's prepackaged curry plus rice plus frozen vegetables and chicken nuggets, and that's lazy katsu curry. That I'm not spending a whole bunch of time cooking or like chopping or making it myself. That this is all pre-made stuff that I just throw into a large bowl. Guy dinner. But the thing is, that's really cheap compared to what you're going to get at a restaurant, even if it's just a drive-through place, or just
nutritionally even better. Yeah. This is one of the things I try. Really interesting like topic I want to talk about is like being a person with an audience is having to have big responsibility on things you talk about or advertise. You never know. You don't want to be a person who's known for having the shittiest community because they do this. It's really, really, really important to like remember what you do, because it's kind of like reflecting on it. Like this is a really hot take, a huge hot take. I've never said this anywhere else on anybody's stream, but I genuinely hate energy drinks, gamer energy drinks, and that the fact that VTubers push them heavily, because it's what would you call it, consumable stuff, because the idea is, the business model is you get a cut of every purchase that a person makes using your code, and because they consume it, because it's addictive, they go back to give you more and more and more and more and more, so that way you can like be financially stable, but it's at the health of your community. And I regard health as something really, 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 really important. It's like paramount to me, right? Yeah. So as a person who has influence, I try to influence my community on taking good, healthy nutritional options, learn to cook for themselves, talk about nutrition, talk about, exercise, doing healthy things. It's very, very, like, if I can capture a person's time and like have an audience, might as well help them out a little bit. That's why I always say stretch, drink and take care of yourself type of stuff, because you never know when you need it. I don't even like to make fun of people whose rooms are incredibly messy, because I know how hard it is to just like get up and take care of and do chores. I know, even like because like, let's be realistic, time is a really, really limited resource in today's age. And like today, so a lot of people tend to sacrifice a little bit of the self-care that they do. And it's understandable. Sometimes you go into the notions where you just can't take of certain parts, but just trying at least once, it will help you out so much. Like, just stepping into the shower, like, I know a lot of people kind of like struggle with that a little bit, so I try to like push them a little bit, take care of themselves. We also don't want sweaty gamers in chat.
No sweaty gamers, please.
But you're sweaty gamers. But no, just kidding. Whatchamacallit? Just influencing them to take better health and take care of themselves is really important. That's why I don't like advertising for, like, I've had so many people that tell me like, hey, you should sign up for this, and you should get like a sponsorship and all sort of stuff. Like, nah. If I want a good sponsorship, I'm probably gonna go out for healthy meals. I'm gonna look for the sponsorships myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree that if you are going to use your platform to advertise something, that you should be doing your research, and that you should be mindful of the things that you're promoting, and that energy drinks, I think, are a very hit or miss specific example, because there are some energy drinks that their entire brand is, this is a healthy one, that it's non-addictive, that it's like, it's actually low caffeine, and that it's other, like, it's B vitamins and such, and that it's meant to be something that is better for you, and that it can be hit or miss there. And then you have like the meal supplement ones, which can be, again, hit or miss, because sometimes, all right, how much food are you actually getting for this price? And all right, maybe it's good stuff, but are you just paying a lot for boxes and shipping? And some are better than others. That there are some meal plan subscriptions that, my general opinion on most businesses, especially when it comes to food stuff, most of the time people are not trying to create something bad. That, I'm certainly not going to advertise like alcoholic drinks. Like, I don't have a problem with drinking. You can drink responsibly. I don't think I would be particularly comfortable advertising alcohol. Certainly not comfortable advertising like tobacco products, like actually genuinely harmful stuff. But, all right, everyone needs to eat. Everyone should stay hydrated. And, like, there are certain products that can be good if done in moderation. Others, not so much. And that I think it is the job of the person with the platform, with the influence, to do their due diligence and see, all right, is this product, is this company that is approaching me something that I am comfortable being affiliated with? Because I think that there are plenty that you would not want to be, but I think that there are others that are actually genuinely trying to put some good out into the world.
Yeah. I just feel like people need to like be a little bit more responsible, especially if like they're on a platform. You never know what those actions can do, Sometimes I super reflect on things that I say, and I'm like, man, I don't want people to like, because one time I had to sit my community down and be like, oi, if we're gonna, because one of my friends, like, I like to bully and tease a little bit, and he's okay with me doing it, but I've noticed my chat talks to them in that way, and I go like, hey, this is my buddy, okay? You can't talk to my buddy like that. Exactly. So they think because I treat them this way, this is how they like to be treated. So I had to like sit them down and be like, oi, can't do that no more. And you know what the response was? They're like, okay, we understand, we won't do it again. Like, it's okay, just communicate things,
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm glad that you were able to be comfortable enough to have that conversation, have that little sit down with your community?
Oh yeah, I had to do. There was one that was really scary. When I actually did not have the best start when I started my streaming. I'm gonna talk about something embarrassing. When I started, I had no idea how to market myself. I was just a dumb little person. And you know what I did? This is something I don't recommend to people to do. This is actually quite bad. Is to join Discords for the only purpose of posting your links. So I was like, people don't know me. I'm gonna try to market myself. So I'm gonna join different Discord servers and I'm gonna put in my link. I don't care what server I join. I'm just gonna do it. And I did it for like 100 servers, I think. One of the servers really enjoyed my model, and I was like, why? Why are they getting really excited that I'm a VTuber? What's happening? It was a HoloLive fan Discord server, so I was like, oh, I guess they're just talking about Holo, it's kind of cool. But they were just really excited that I'm a VTuber, and I was like, I don't know what's happening, but hey, there's support coming in, so I'm kind of happy about that. Apparently that server, behind specific channels, if you like try to use your points, you can unlock hidden channels, and those hidden channels were not good. They were not good. They were absolutely not good. And I had no idea. So I had a lot of sus viewers at the beginning. So you can understand what happened from there pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of those viewers.
And you fix the problem. You address the problem.
Yeah, I haven't, had problems recently. I'm glad they moved on. It's been 2 years, man. But one of the people was, back then I was also really dinky and nitty and an idiot, and I was like, maybe you shouldn't allow all of your chatters to DM you. Maybe not everybody should have, you shouldn't give it your attention to everybody. You don't owe that. I thought back then, like, oh, they're coming to my stream, they're giving, they're paying attention to me, so I owe them my attention. Not that way, not that way,
Nope.
There was a person who found a little bit of stuff about me, and he started asking me incredibly uncomfortable questions, and he used to spend so much money on my content. Like, it was so much money, like, it's incredible. So I had that guilty feeling of like, he's doing this, but like, what he's doing is wrong. Like, he's not a good person. Like, why? Yeah, so we had to like do a huge talk. That was the very first scary talk, and I thought maybe if I do the talk, my community's gonna understand, because this is a new community and they came from a server that isn't quite a good server, right? So most of them were amazing. They were like, yeah, we're gonna understand. So, and the people that hated the talk, they just left anyway, and I don't really care much about that anymore. They were bad people.
Yeah.
But one of them completely changed and became a reformed person. I was like, wow, I'm glad I made them stop doing that bad stuff. Character growth, yeah. But I'm kind of just really happy about that I got to influence good, people to change. But that one person did not change, and they had to.
And
they had to keep going.
They got
hammer. I did not. Oh no, he was my mod. That's even worse.
Yikes.
So I gave him a big document. Me and my community sat down, like the people who knew him, and we talked and we said all that sort of stuff, and it was really darning evidence. And I booted him out after that, and he used to bother me all the time, like send me sussy anonymous donos or all that sort of crap. And he would like complain like, you put me in debt, blah 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 blah. And back then I would just get really scared and I start crying. I'm like, no, I didn't want to do that, it's not my fault. But that hardship that I endured at the beginning of streaming,
it's unfortunately something that a number of people go through, and I'm glad that you were able to realize that something was wrong and that you were able to address it.
Yeah, at the beginning, I did not have the I had the thinnest skin. I'm still sensitive,
That's how a lot of people start.
But
that if you don't have that experience, that just it is unfortunately a trap that you see a lot of new content creators. It doesn't matter if they're a VTuber or not, fall into, and that fortunately,
absolutely,
as time goes on and stories like that get out and people become more aware of it, that I think those who are starting nowadays are better equipped to handle those types of situations because people are open about it, and that you hear stories like this, so people now are more likely to be on the lookout for those types of signs, be aware of different hazards, and be more proactive even earlier in the process and keep things from getting too far. And obviously, stuff like that still unfortunately happens every day across the internet, but I think that people are now, like I said, more aware of it, and that's just something that comes with not even individual growth, but community growth and just sort of, for lack of a better term, space and market growth.
As I've matured, I believe my community also matured. I think a few days ago we were looking at my community submission event where everybody makes soy memes, because it was like, I want to see your talent, I want to see what you could do. I literally saw this one person's editing skill go from 0 to 100. It's amazing, because I do it annually. So I was like, let's see what I did in 2021. Okay, let's see what I did in 2022. Let's see what you guys did in 2023. It's amazing. and the amount of submissions keep expanding each time, and I'm like, that's nuts, bro. That's incredible. I am just spoiled by my community's talent, man. But I love nurturing it. I love making interesting events. This time we're gonna be doing a tournament, so I want to see how many gamers we have. Yeah, it's gonna be a tournament for a fan game. There was a really talented soy boy who made me a fan game that you can play. That is amazing. I don't know. I'm just so incredibly honored to have somebody who can put so much time into making a game. Games are notoriously a huge time sink, right? So
I tried Soy Runner and I couldn't get past the first obstacle. I couldn't figure it out.
It's hard. It's hard. That's why I want to see more people try to get through the tournament. We'll see. Initially we talked with everybody and I was like, should I make the reward monetary? Then, my mods were like, nah, you should make it something silly, like a VIP badge for the entire subathon. I was like, yeah, you know what? I like that. I like that better. Because people do get super competitive for money. So I was like, yeah, I kind of don't want to breed angst and hate and BMing,
Probably for the best.
So, yeah, and I get to do a doodle, so it's all good. Yeah, I think, did we go through everything? I feel like we have still a lot of stuff.
We have this whole giant list of things that we were potentially going to talk about. And we were initially saying, okay, the show's probably going to be about 3 hours, and we just hit the 3-hour mark. I suppose a little less because about 10 minutes or so was on the starting soon screen. But how are you feeling, Soy? That I'm good to keep going, but I know that it is later for you than it is for me, and that your sleep schedule is already all over the place.
It is. But I have not eaten anything in so long, so I feel like we can do a quick speed run. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to pick and choose some of my favorite things that we got here. You mentioned that some of your favorite games that you played on stream, there's a big list here. I'm going to pick out, there's 2 instances of Doom here, 2016 and Eternal. So, had you played Doom at all prior to playing it on the stream?
Absolutely not. It was my first time, and I did not know if I was good at FPSs, but I apparently, I was sometimes not good at the bosses, and I did do easy mode, but that playthrough did cement a huge vibe in my stream, because at the time I was like, man, how can I improve my streams? How can I improve my quality, right? I've learned that doing sing-alongs, because I'm a singing person, I do sing quite a lot, those songs get stuck in people's head, man. So now we have every time I revisit Doom, we do a little jingle for little things. Like if I come into the upgrade man who's just sitting down, he has this little something that looks like a USB stick. So I go like, oh, it's a USB guy. The USB for you and me. The USB for you and me. And I see chat singing along, and I go like, oh my god, this is insane. So those singing songs, also like the Paper of Wisdom, I call it random names. I know it's like lore in the game where like you have to pick up a codex. I don't call it a codex. I just call it a Paper of Wisdom, something super silly. So I just go like, the Paper of Wisdom from the Valley of Wisdom, a Paper of Wisdom from the Valley of Wisdom. Something really quick and snappy that just pops up in my head when it feels right. Right now, I can't put out those songs as much as I'd like, but they pop in when I feel like it, and it's great. It's great. I did not believe how memorable those songs were. So whenever we talk about games I've played, people reminisce on those moments. See, Giant Bright Light! That's another song! Oh my god. So Giant Bright Light song came from when I was getting really stressed playing Dark Souls 3. I was doing like, every time I die, I do something stupid. So I was in pain after fighting a boss, and I just was like singing Giant Bright Light, Giant Bright Light, and every time I say it, they sing along, and it just makes things memorable. I feel like you don't really experience that with other people too much, right? I'm partial to the Buddy Boone song. Yes, the Buddy Boone song came from the Fallout stream from New Vegas. In the game, you carry along like companions, and one of them is Boone. So I just started like doing some like beats, and then a song came up, and it's like, me and my buddy Boone, buddy Boone, buddy Boone. This one is actually longer than the other songs that I've made. It kind of goes like, me and my buddy Boone, buddy Boone, buddy Boone. Wait, I forgot the song. No. He lost his wife in the darkest days. Now we're fighting all the Legion fakes. Me and my buddy Boom, buddy Boom, buddy Boom. An underrated new one is the Plunger. Oh my god, the Plunger song!
I'm so curious. I'm trying to think, what could the Plunger song be referring to?
I'm trying to remember. I think it goes like,
Which game is this from?
It's still Fallout. I found a Plunger and it started singing. What is it called? How does it go? I can't really remember it, unfortunately. Someone have to remind me what the Plunger song you would like, but I've even made common songs. Like if I see a key in a game, because there's a lot of keys in every single game, I go like, a key, we got the key, and then it goes like, a key, we got the key. Open the door, or kind of just goes like that, or open the chest or whatever. I
feel like we need the album of Soy's greatest hits.
Yes! I am glad you asked that. Can you pull that on screen?
Wait, did I actually hit on something?
Yep, exactly. I have made an album, a mock album of like what my songs would be, because songs I did not think I'd be singing at all. I did not think before VTubing that I would sing like once, but because I am a singing person and I just didn't know I had it, it just came in naturally. So yeah, it's just it's just like something my community and I keep doing, where sometimes I would do karaoke and like, what if we do a really funny parody of like Zombie, but it's like monkey version? And yeah, I actually do have a lot of monkey songs.
What the heck? This is so good. Why is this album art so good?
I don't know. Graphic design is my passion. I have not posted it yet, so might as well do that super soon.
Like, should I show it on stream, or do you want me to save it so...
No, show it. I want people to see it.
I want you to actually record just these different little jingles, because most of them, from what it sounds like, are just a couple seconds long. You don't need to do any editing on them. Just use,
it's true.
Just turn on Audacity or
even
whatever
word
recording...
mixing.
Yeah, whatever program you use to record your voice, and just upload them as simple MP3s. You can mix if you want, or just, voice tweets, basically, and compile them all, and you have the Soy Greatest Hits album.
They could be TikToks!
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Oh my god, thank you! I've never thought of that at all. Oh. Listen, if those tweets go really popular, I will remember you, Jay, forever. You were the buddy who made me, who inspired me to do this.
Great minds think alike. We did not discuss this beforehand. That you had mentioned, I knew that you liked singing songs and making little jingles and whatnot. That I've tuned into your streams. I know what's up, but I didn't know that you had this, and that it is specifically the exact phrasing that I used of Soy's greatest hits. Yes,
I know, it's the funniest thing. That's why I jumped up, my eyes shine. I was like, yes, this thing that I'm a forgetful person. I've been asking, like I was like, maybe I should just hire a manager who could just help me keep in track of my tasks, because so many ideas did not get done, and if I just had somebody reassure me and go like, yes, this is great, so keep going, I would have done so many things. So yeah, thanks for the reminder. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's something I struggled with a lot, but I'm actually I'm on the high, right now. I'm feeling very happy, very proud of my work, and I've always demonized having being prideful. I've always demonized that. I was like, oh no, you should be humble and all that sort of stuff, but sometimes don't develop insecurities and hate yourself. That's bad. Don't hate yourself. No. At least be proud of things, Yeah, because this is something everybody struggles with. Even me. I heard a lot of things about me, but you guys still remember your own accomplishments, and maybe I should compile all the songs, because I can't believe how whenever I talk about my channel, it goes like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just an idiot on the internet. That's not enough. I gotta prove how much of an idiot I I gotta show it. I can't be just doing content, not putting it out there. I gotta actually push for it. I gotta prove to someone why they should watch me. Why I think I'm worthwhile. Why I should be their entertainer, right? Instead of punching myself in the face, going no, you're worthless. Yeah. That goblin, let him shut up. Don't listen to that goblin. Yeah.
I just can't get over this album art. So, did you do the background, or did you just find a stock background and put in the text?
It's a stock background, but I specifically use non-commercial stock background. So I don't know if this ever happens, but there's a lot of resources on the internet, and I was like, damn, this is really pretty. This is actually blue. It's supposed to be water effect, but I kind of just played around it until it became red and stuff, and it looks really cool when it's red. Yeah. So
and I love the parental advisory.
Some of the songs are a little bit not for the youngins, if you know what I mean. I did a version without the parental advisory. Who knows who wants to buy that album? Maybe you know what? Being a Spotify artist isn't hard at all. I've heard people listen to Horsecock on Spotify.
Maybe publishing this album is a stretch goal for the Stinkathon.
If we hit the goals, if we ever hit the goals and we go above that's gonna be something I'll do. Absolutely. It would be really easy to do that. Amazing. See, Jay is so creative with ideas, man. He keeps giving me this shit. I feel like I should give you something back.
You already gave me something by being here. That we talked about time being a precious resource, and that I'm just flattered and humbled that people are interested and willing to spend time on my show and talk with me. That's
you have an amazing show.
I try, and
but it's great. You highlight all the talent, and my soy boys probably didn't even know this part of me because I do not enjoy talking about myself, but if I were to have the opportunity, I'll do. Yeah.
I'm very
Return of
genuinely
monkey
happy
cover,
that does mean a lot to me as a host. That means that I'm doing something right, and that you talked about people, people following you, subscribing, whatever, and that you feeling that you want to do right by them, and also just being kind of surprised of, why are you here? Why are you following me? That I do, I invite people to be on my show, that I go out of my way to ask people, but at the same time, I certainly don't have expectations of people saying yes, much less being super excited. And that when I messaged you, that you came back just being super excited, and you talking about people being excited for your stuff, that was you for me.
Aw, I'm kind of happy about that. I really enjoy these. Like, you taking the time out of your busy schedule to help highlight people, make them realize, hey, they're capable. That helps. Us helps quite a lot. Like, before this talk show, even I didn't even think. I was still in that rut where I'm like, man, I'm not worthy, man. But then you joined,
I'm the
and
one
I was
that's
like,
not worthy. Like, people,
no!
like I don't have a following, or like I don't have a big following. I'm tiny. It just.
You can be tiny. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. I am fine with being a small channel, but at the same time, that ideally someday maybe VTuber Talk will grow, and that there's going to be a whole bunch of people that will tune in for every single show, and that I can invite someone to be on and say, hey, I'd love to get a bunch of new eyes on your content, and that if you come on my show, that there will be a whole bunch of viewers that'll be able to see you. I can't promise that. As it stands, as it has always been for me, 75%, if not more, of the people who watch and chat during any given show are already fans of my guest. That I do my best to, like you say, I definitely want to create that environment where where the guest is able to talk about things they might not normally talk about, or just be extra comfortable, or that there might be the chance to bring up stories and experiences that haven't come up on stream, not because they're secret, but just because the conversation hasn't happened, that there hasn't been the right question asked, and that I can hopefully bring a few of those out every show and make it something special for the guest and for the fans that are taking time to watch and want to learn more about the content creator that they already are pretty familiar with. But, I'm just a guy, and I'm certainly proud of my ability to do some basic organization and guide a conversation. And I do think I'm good at it. That's why I started this show. It wasn't because I didn't know what I was doing, but I'm also not going to say that I'm the best in the business, certainly not. And that like I said, my following is very, very very, very small, and I am beyond grateful for anybody who tunes in for any amount of time. And if you tune in for one show because you happen to know that VTuber, and then go out of your way to tune in for even a single other show, if you do that, you've already gone above and beyond what is...
You heard him, Soy Boys! Whenever Vtuber Talk goes live, go watch the stream!
It is anomalous, statistically anomalous for that to happen. And it's certainly not something that I expect of viewers, that I have zero expectations. That the whole reason I started VTuber Talk is because, surprise, I like to talk. I'm an extrovert. I enjoy getting these types of stories and such. And that this is just the platform, the vehicle, the excuse to be able to talk to people that I think are neat, and that I get to have fun conversations. And that is, you talk about the 5 pillars of success, that is the passion, that is the goal, that there is no number-based goal, that there are a couple of things, a couple of people that I've been fortunate enough to meet because of VTuber Talk, but there's a lot of things that just the reward that I get from VTuber Talk, by and large, is intangible. And I'm okay with that. That's what this is for. Vtuber Talk, 2.5 years in, is performing exactly as designed. That, like I said, there was never a goal with a number. There was never the design to, have a bunch of big VTubers on my show and then get their fans to be my fans and then, ride their coattails to success or something. No, I'm just a guy that likes to talk.
Yeah. It's still very cool here in you doing all that. And I wish you the best of luck and more success in the future. And I just really enjoy this stuff. I just really enjoy the fact that you've done 124 and that I got to be a guest. That speaks volumes. You've been doing this for 124 times. That's a lot. Mm-hmm.
It has been cool to just watch the episode number slowly climb over time. That I've always had that as far back as episode 1, and it's just, all right, that's the stream title. It's episode blank with blank. And, we're about to hit what is sort of a nice round number of 125, and I don't even have any regularity. I try to do it about once a week. Sometimes it ends up being 2 weeks. Sometimes I end up having 3 in a week. It's just, when are people available? Because that's how it goes. But I'm still having fun, so that's what matters.
Me. But as we're wrapping things up, I just want to say that I'm very, very, very honored to be on your show. I got to be, one of your guests, and it was really a mind-opening experience, at least for me, because like I said before, I tend to be like a little bit on the downplaying of my achievement side, but hearing somebody wanting to take the time to hear about what I've done really means a lot. It really does mean a lot, and you've done a lot of positive for me, I believe. So thank you for taking the time out of your day to do this and to host a wonderful talk. I don't think I've had I went on so many tangents. Like we thought we were just gonna talk about
list of other stuff like anime and video games. We got to basically none of it, and that's okay.
None of it.
That I like having that stuff as a backup, but just if the other conversations happen naturally, I'm gonna let them happen. I'm going to it is VTuber Talk. Tangents are still talk. That is a success.
I love
That's not that. Nothing went wrong, at least in terms of the conversation. We had the scuff at the beginning. That's separate. But hey, the scuff became conversation.
Exactly. I still had a lot of fun during the scuff part, but yeah. It was very cool to be here, and thank you so much.
I have 2 last questions that I ask all my guests.
Yeah.
The first is, do you have any goals that you want to accomplish before the end of the year? That we are a bit over halfway through September, so a little bit more than 3 months, and obviously you have your Stinkathon coming up, so I'm guessing that, having a successful Stinkathon is probably top of your mind right now. Are there any other goals that you have that you want to complete before the end of 2023, whether it be a certain type of stream or a project, anything like that?
Well, pretty much I've started the year saying I'm gonna sing this year. I do actual covers, and I've recorded them. I have yet to post. I've yet to post my fully recorded monkey cover. I'm gonna muster the courage to focus on the music side, but I believe one of my goals is to keep growing, keep at it, never give up. We'll see next year what happens, but I don't want to quit this year. I want to keep going, and I want to host my very first donathon. I've never done a donathon because I spoke about it in the beginning. I always feel very bad whenever somebody supports me financially. So this time I could feel a little bit better without just slapping on a dono goal for a certain project. I can just reward my chat back, because I like rewarding. It feels like I can give them this, they can give me that, so it's fair on both sides. So I thought, donathon would be the perfect way to do that. And I've never done it before. I've always looked at it negatively, because sometimes I go man, these poor people, I don't want them to spend too much money on me. I feel really bad. I don't want them to neglect themselves like that person who gave me the bad experience to begin with, like, you know, that he got in debt because of me. But, you know, I'm just gonna keep educating them how to, like, you know, support, in a positive way and also in a responsible way. And, and just keep giving that back. Yeah.
And for those who are watching live, that stinkathon, that subathon is going to be actually in just 4 days, starting on the 23rd. I'm glad we scheduled this now because depending on how things go, you might be busy for a while.
Oh, yeah. I still have not invited my guests yet because I was like, should I have guests? I think it'll be fine. But
I'm very confident it is going to be a very good subathon.
I hope so. I've never done one before. We'll see. I hope I don't choke on the beanboozled beans. Thanks for the reminder about that.
Yes,
I will.
I'm very curious to see how that goes.
It's not gonna be good. I will probably need a lot of emotional support from my friends.
Yeah, like, DM me whenever you're about to have your first bean. If I'm around, if I'm available, I want to be there for that.
Yes, I will do
you,
that, absolutely.
Those boxes are not 50-50 splits.
Oh no! Is it like 60-30?
My guess is it's probably 70-30, yeah.
Oh, bro. Yeah, bet. I think we'll have a good time regardless.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there will be.
we'll keep our heads up, but oh boy. But we still haven't gone through the list, but that's okay. Maybe it ended up being better because you got to know about me in different ways. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure most of my soy boys know about my likes and my favorite games and shows that I've watched a lot and things that I do, but the stuff that we went into today, like, those are really interesting topics. I didn't even think I'd be talking about them.
That's half the fun for me as a host, that, like, I always say that my job as the host is to go on whatever journey the guest wants to take me on, and sometimes the guest doesn't know what journey they want to take me on until it's in the moment. I just let things happen and try to ask questions to keep things rolling. That's all I do.
The unpredictability is the fun part. Right?
And the last question I ask all my guests is, what does being a VTuber mean to you? And that's not the definition of what is a VTuber, but different people get different things from VTubing or have different connections with VTubing, so to speak. I've had people say, VTubing lets me get in touch with my inner child. VTubing lets me be someone that I can't be in real life. I've had other people who have a more clinical, less emotional connection and have said, it is a mask that I wear. It's a tool that I use as an entertainer, and that I don't necessarily have an emotional attachment to my model, but I think that it is a tool that I can use to be creative in a way that I couldn't as a face cam streamer. And those are two very different ends of a spectrum of what people get from being a VTuber, but neither is wrong, and anything beyond or in between, that there is no wrong way to be a VTuber. So for you, SoyMilk, what does being a VTuber mean to you?
It's my life. It's my passion. It's the way I get to be. Like, pretty much what other people said. Like, it's not a mask, but a more, like, how do I say this? It's like, people get to see my work instead of, just looking at me, because, like, not everybody feels a bit confident about how they look like, right? But instead of people, because imagine if I was a cam streamer, I'd have to, like, worry about, like, putting makeup and all that sort of stuff, and then getting, like, harassed by random chatters. That wouldn't be a fun time. So I think, like, it just enables me to do things I've never thought I would. I thought being an entertainer was out of the question, and then VTubing came in and it changed my life, and I just owe it for the better because it got me to connect with so many amazing people I've never thought I'd be talking to, right? Since I live on the opposite side, I've got to experience a whole different world, a whole different culture. Made me think, hey, maybe maybe the thing that I'm in currently isn't the best. But I think VTubing to me is just passion. I'm willing to put whatever it takes to keep going. Sometimes life can be rough and you go like, yeah, I gotta worry about things in real life, like getting a job and whatever right after I graduate. But I honestly believe even if I do get a job, I'll still stream because life sucks too much to not enjoy yourself. Like, honestly, like, I don't want to take it on a really, sad side, but let's just say, like, VTubing helps my depression be a little bit more bearable. Yeah.
I always ask that question at the end of the show because it helps sort of put a bow on everything, and because while I never know exactly how someone's going to answer, the answers always make sense, even if it's just from a couple hours of talking, and that for you, the word passion really does encapsulate everything from your art to your songs to just all the fun that you have with your model, your community, and that it's very clear that you are having just a blast being a VTuber, and I can't wait to see what you do next. I know that subathon is going to go very, very well. I hope the beans treat you nicely.
Yeah, sure, boys. You can't bully me now that you know that. Me and my community just have a pull and tease type of stuff. But yeah. I know if someone comes to poke at me, they're gonna be like, "Who's hurting my ocean?"
Yeah, that's the thing of most good communities, that that it is always bully with two O's, BOOLI, and never bully with a U, BULLY, and that similar to how you had the talk of, hey, chat, you can't actually bully my friend this way. That's something that only I get to do. That chat to the streamer that if there's a new person in chat, or if a bunch of raiders come in and start, actually bullying, that chat's gonna be like, hey, no, only we get to do that.
Yeah, but it's been a good time so far, being on all, and I was very, very lucky I was able to have that opportunity to just fully express myself with no like limit. I feel like I can express myself however many ways I want.
And I do actually have slightly one extra question, and that's, who would you like us to raid?
Well, I think it's appropriate since we were talking about graduation. I do have a friend of mine who's holding his very, very last stream. So maybe a good goodbye would be the nicest. I think Seigi is the perfect choice for today.
Oh, sorry, send that in Discord. My
bad.
chat automod bonks every link.
Oh no! Oh, okay. I thought if I had the partner badge, they're gonna be like, yeah, it's fine.
I just reflexively set the thing to like maximum on safety. Just
that's true. I've heard a lot of partner accounts got hacked recently because like they can bypass that.
Yep.
Whoops. Woo. But yeah.
But again, Soy, thank you so much for taking time to be here. This was so much fun, and for everybody in chat, thank you for being here, whether you were here at the start of the show or got here somewhere along the line. If you're watching on YouTube, hi YouTube. Congrats on making it to the end of the show. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Yeah, that's the closest I get to being a good content creator stuff. For those of you who enjoyed, I do these shows, like I said, about once a week. I don't really have a regular schedule because I do my best to schedule around my guests, but I am possibly going to have a show this weekend. I am like in the last parts of confirming. I don't want to say anything for sure because basically every time that I say something on stream of, oh, this is going to happen, then it gets rescheduled and it's a mess. So follow here on Twitch or Twitter. It's just Vtuber Talk both places, and that it will be posted there for when things happen. So again, thank you so much. And we are going to be raiding into Seigi, so be sure to let him know that Soy sent you. Spam lots of emotes, lots of hearts. Wish him well on whatever his next chapter is. So again, this has been episode 124 of Vtuber Talk. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Soy. You all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next time.
Yeah, bye.